Alright, so fantastic, there's borderless window, but I had to mute all the sounds here. This is quite a loud and obnoxious game, really. So, right, we'll go up there, and then put that up there, because that's about where the default was? Okay, alright. Right, so I'm just in the option menu doing the sounds, but okay. Alright. Alright, should be ready to go here, but... Okay. Right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I am your wonderful host, Phontomen, and welcome to today's show. Today we are playing My Little Dictator as, I would say donated, but rather I was forced by gunpoint, or I was... Well, it wasn't really a loaded gun, it was... Basically, Martin was gonna call me a bad friend if I didn't do this, more or less. That was the threat. I know. Horrifying. Mortifying. Jesus. But, so yeah, it's My Little Dictator. I have no idea what we're going to walk into, but clearly we can see that this is already gonna be something. Clearly. To say you can't judge a book by its cover, but maybe you should take a few fucking cues from this one. Mildly suggested, he says. Right, okay. So, let's begin. And, see what the fuck we're actually getting ourselves into. Prequel game, The Rebel Cat Girl. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry. Can I can't even actually select that, but okay, fine. We unlock the fucking... We unlock the sequel by finishing the game. Yeah, sure, fine. What, yeah. Whatever. The main story, detailing the exploits of Commander Yamato. Fucking... Wow, okay, that's kind of clever. Sure, fine. As he battles his way across Europa. Yeah, Right, Martin, you gonna be taking this for, cues from Valkyria Chronicles? Sounds like it might fit the bill here. You might have to file the names off there, but it sounds like it's probably gonna be about the same mood. Europa, yes, because we can't actually say it's Europe, right? We can't say Europe. Then people get mad if we actually start likening events in the real history. Not that anyone fucking listens to, learns, or regards history anymore. No. But we have to err on the side of not being offensive, and there's a huge big blurb when the game loaded up that says, the events, any references to events, places, names, people, living or dead, is purely coincidental and unintended. You know that's horse shit. But we gotta err on the side of legality because someone's gonna crucify us for making a game about dictators that are fucking lollies. I don't think anyone cares. People will just call it cringe and walk away, honestly, if they're gonna have a negative reaction. But anyway, so yeah, why is, Super Japan, conquesting across Europe? What's going on? Okay, well that's obvious. Well, I can see by the armband there, that's not quite the X-Army from Metal Slug. And then I'm assuming, assuming the happy, Genki one is, Italian. Because clearly, she's probably totally fucking incompetent. That face just screams it, right? Recruit easy mode, general, normal mode, martial, expert mode. We'll play normal. Give me the average CP and receive regular CP after battles. Skip battle is enabled after losing a battle once. Do check. We're marching to a faster pace. Wait, wait, there was also a prologue in the menu. Why you have two fucking prologues? Come on now. "3 years from now, in the sandy plains of North Africa." But wait, wait, Europa's Europa, but North Africa is still Africa. Wait, those are T-14s. What the fuck? I guess the British actually took our fucking tank this time, because that's kind of what the T-14 was. This is this timeline. Yeah, the British were having trouble actually making an infantry tank, and they asked us to make one, and we gave them the T-14. They didn't like it. What the fuck is on the other side? Those are just kind of... Those are what, like, aspect ratio altered Panzer IVs. That just looks like a T-34, though. That's kind of weird. But anyway. Dust blows in from across the dunes as the heavy sun beats down from above. The smell of oil and metal wafts through the stifling air. In a remote corner of a canyon, a division of the Germania, Jesus Christ, army lies Remember, guys, Europa, Germania, we have to make shit up, but Africa is still Africa. Why? Because no one's gonna fucking sue us. Small group of pansy tanks. Hello, it's girlfriend hour. It's your girlfriend actually, holds a lesson about World War II and just changes things intermittently, makes them more girly. Anyway, waits in silence as the approaching enemy closes in. Standing atop a Yag Tigerin? A Yiggity Tigerin? Okay. The Germanian commander observes her Britannian counterpart. Okay, sure, fantastic. Wait a minute, hang on here, Britannia. Who in recent memory has actually used the title Britannia to actually reference England? It's on the tip of my tongue. What have I played lately? What have I experienced lately that's actually used the title Britannia? It'll come to me. So, we meet at last. I never thought it would be here. Africa, yeah, Commander Rommel, welcome. Well, Rommel, you've made your last mistake. You and your amazing outrunning your own fucking supplies. A clash between rivals out in the desert sands. Wait, when did we get into Code Geass? I knew it was Code Geass, but I was trying to figure out something else. But yeah, no, fucking Code Geass. So where's the mechs? I mean, we're clearly talking here like we're sitting there being chess masters, but where's the nightmare frames? I'm sorry. Nightmare frame desu. Warriors on both sides wait at their cannons, fingers to the triggers. Arena. It's over, Arena, Rommel. You can't run any longer. Monty. Just Monty. Ben Monty. I should have known. And Desert for actual cat. Yep, We're taking the low-hanging fruit ones with memes here. Yes, Rommel's a cute little girl, and, cat ears. Yep, Desert Fox. You know, this would be shocking, but holy sweet mother of God, hundreds of people have already pulled this shit. This would be like, wow, this is so freaking weird and out there. No, this is actually fucking mundane for anime. Everyone and their mother has already done this. So I'm kind of unfazed by it. It's just, it's here. Anyway. Our tanks outnumber yours. 3-1. Your speed won't save you here. Yes. You were so fast you outran your own supplies, but you can't really go too fast without fucking fuel. Now can you, Monty? Rommel. Erwin, not as good as Erwin from Gup. Just kind of not as good. Chase your army to the ends of the earth. Surrender, Rommel, or be destroyed. Look, man, I can only defend it so much. I was a different Martin way back when. We can all entertain Gup, but at least Gup, well, has class. And is, well, entertaining in a lot of ways. Smoke billows in from burnt-out shells nearby, the sites of previous battles. You see, Girls in Panzer pays for its wackiness by actually having well-depicted tank battles for what they are. You gotta pay for it somehow, and as long as you pay for it, everything's fine. Crumbling ruins on the surrounding hillsides conceal old nests and trenches, long since abandoned. The fighting has been arduous and intense. Many have been lost. However, none of them will be seen. We're certainly tired of running. The retreat has not been kind. Sweat drips from their brows. The two titans facing off under the crisp afternoon sky. What is that face? The Britannian commander smirks as he looks upon his cornered enemy. You have evaded us for far too long. Today it ends. Whatever our fates may be, we must accept them. Okay. It's his rant's face, obviously. The wind is biting. The heat is blistering. The desert is not kind. It is a harsh and foreboding world. Yeah, it's hot. The soldiers are weary from the fight. They want to see their homes again. Yeah, doesn't everybody? Yet they wait upon their commander's word. They hold out until the bitter end. Ready to fire, ready to flee, ready to lay down their arms or die for their countrymen. Ready to lay down their arms and die for their countrymen. Nope. Middle mouse brings it up. We are all victims of fate. It doesn't take a leader to order soldiers into battle. Or did you think I'd say something like that? What was with the fucking horn there? What, is she secretly the fucking clown in Space Station 13 now? It takes one to lead them in. Uh-huh. Did you forget something, Monty? I am Erwina Rommel, the devilish sneaky desert fox. I never give in. Until you run out of fucking supplies. Are you mad? We have you trapped here, surrounded. There's no way out of it for you or your girls. Where there's a will, there's a way, and I always find a way. Until I totally fall for that one trick where, I fell for fake intelligence because they put it in a Jeep and left it in a minefield. Whoops. Now! Booming sound of a shell cuts through the air as a concealed tank destroyer on a nearby ridge fires at the Britannians. As an infantry tank goes up in flames, that F in chat for T-14, the confused and panicking soldiers hit the deck, scattering and leaving gaps in their lines. And into the destruction, the South Africa Corps, are we talking about a fucking French cuisine here? Make a break for it. Push through the gap and head for the hills. In a tight line of pansies breaks out, speeding through the surrounding enemy and onwards to the horizon. Those are fucking crusaders, though. Yes. That's impossible. What are you doing? You're letting them get past. Fire or destroy them. Come on now. The T-14 is actually pretty fucking good for what it is. Come on now. Monty's troops scramble to chase their escaping captives, firing whatever they can at the enemy. And actually, I don't know about under terrain, but the T-14 actually moves pretty fucking quick there. So I think it actually pretty catch up to a bunch of fucking Panther, fours. That's just my interpretation. Clearly, this game doesn't care though. See you later, Monty. The nimble feet of the Desert Fox carry her away from the camp at great speed. This is why we shoot people instead of monologuing, Monty. In a flash, she disappears into the sands. A few seconds later, 100 yards away, she hops aboard a retreating Germanian panzer. Shoot with a gun! Shoot! Shoot! So long, you tea-swilling stink brains. As the entire division pushes out, the Britannian chinchilla tanks... What?! Try to encircle and cut them off. Chinchilla. Man, this really is girlfriend hour. But the superior speed of the Germanian forces makes for a clean getaway, and we will tell you as we look and not really concentrate terribly hard on detail. Look at the sky, it's pretty easy. F them. Now, it's an order. We can't shoot her. We're in a cutscene. At the head of the Germanian line, the Desert Fox leads them on and over the dunes. The commander smiles to herself, watching the dust watching the dust trail the Germanian tanks leave behind. Forward, girls, forward! I say, onwards to Gypta, Jesus, and to victory. Okay. Suddenly, an artillery barrage comes their way. Shells explode around them as the Britannians pursue closely. Yep, that's the Royal Ordnance 25-pounders. Clunk, clunk. Dirt and rocks are kicked up in large clouds where huge craters are blown out of the desert sands. Several pansies are knocked out, and fire and smoke spreads across the battlefield. Whoops. Damn, I thought we had them. We'll never lose to them at this rate. Yeah, sure, you're fine. Sure, fantastic. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, there are two types of people in this world: artillerymen and targets. Analyzing the situation, the fox girl thinks on her feet and plans her next move. You girls go ahead. I'll catch up with you later. Commander Rommel, what are you doing? Buying you some time to escape. Don't wait up for me. Bet it's actually the Italians fudging an artillery strike. Possibly. Entirely possible. Leaping off the back of the tank, Rommel charges forward and confronts Monty in a head-on battle. You just ran into, like, an entire formation of tanks that are trying to kill you. Probably can't tell who you are, so they probably wouldn't actually stop firing before, you know, the machine gun bullets basically blew holes in your chest. But anime Janai. Yep, anime Janai. Surprise, what a coincidence, Monty. Monty, we should meet like this more often. We just did this 5 seconds ago. You can't use this intro. I've had enough of you and your wily ways, Fox Girl. This ends today. Soon a tornado of sparking plasma shields the two from the outside as they rush head to head. I'm sorry, what? What? A dark maelstrom forms around them as Monty's electric attacks are countered by Rommel's wind ability. I'm sorry. What? What? Okay, now you fucking just lost me. Nazi propaganda, clearly. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, it's just a North African campaign out there, but back home, they're fucking... I don't know, they're producing... Goebbels' propaganda ministry is producing JoJo's. Jojo Rabbit. Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. Jojo Rabbit's Bizarre Adventure. The Reich is unbreakable. Run away, little fox. Run away, and I'll hound you down like I always do. Foxes don't run from rats. They eat them. The two arch enemies continue to dance, shooting bursts of energy back and forth, and the battle soon begins. The battle has already started. It started like 5 minutes ago. This is it. A showdown between Monty and Rommel, the fox and the rat. And at odds yet again. With fucking magical anime powers, but okay, fine. Many decades earlier... Franzo! Okay. Woman stands in the rain. The former Kaiserin of On this episode, Kaiser Wilhelm gets fucking banished. Wringing her hands, she hesitates. The suitcase by her boot soaks up the showering droplets. Maybe I do need my glasses. This is for the best. Yeah, actually, yes. She confirms this to herself. In the opening years of the century, Europa stood on the brink of destruction. Two power groups formed, both intent on imperial expansion. The Andante powers of wow! Wow! What? Okay, sure, fine. Remember, all references to things, places, events, people, living or dead, are purely coincidental and totally made the fuck up. Clearly. Mama, why are you waiting here? The woman's daughter tugs at her sleeve. A small child. She watches her parent curiously. As the woman's makeup runs down her cheeks, she tries to put on a brave face. Go and play with your friends in the rain. Mama has some important business to attend to. In the struggle for dominance, both sides built up their armies. For 4 years, Europa was ravaged by war. Young blood was shed on all frontiers. No nation was spared. Why can't you play with us? Such an inquisitive child. Asking hard questions. Because we lost the war. We're not even meant to be here, darling. Our delegation has a very important treaty to sign. If our country signs it, then we can stop fighting. The war will come to an end. But at what price will such a conflict come to a close? Technology developed. New machines flew above and rolled through the land. The long and bitter stalemate was broken. Largely by tanks and us just having more supplies than you. A close confidant beckons the Kaiserin to come forward, having found a back entrance. Mama has to go now. Go on, dear. Go and play with your friends. But don't tell them who you are. Huh? Why not? Because you're just a normal girl now. There's no need for them to know. Okay, I love you, Mama, says the girl, probably about to incriminate herself. Small girl runs off into the courtyard, calling to her foreign friend. Hey, come play in the puddles with me. And once again, struck by amazing imagery of, probably could use that for a Necrotica campaign. Two small children playing in the mud and puddles, but the mud and the puddles are actually shell craters in the middle of no man's land. Happy imagery. The Kaiserin watches briefly before donning a hat and anonymously making her way into the palace. With the centralized powers defeated, Germania was at the mercy of the Entente. And so, their leaders were summoned to Franzo to sign a peace treaty. The former leader of Germania quietly watches from the gallery as her country's delegates struggle in negotiations. Prodocolons. You can't do this. The implications of this treaty will ruin our country. You fucking started it. Should have thought of that before waging a war with us. It's your warmongering that has brought you here. Exactly. That's actually, yeah, you see, the post-war, the post-war, what's the term I'm looking for here? What was it? I can't think of the exact term off the top of my head. Reparations? Right, yeah, the post-war reparations were kind of harsh on Germany, but that's why you don't start a fucking war that kills millions of people, you nonce. Germania is solely responsible for the damage done to our lands. Surrender, sign, and pay up. Actually, it wasn't really Germania's sole responsibility, it was one autistic Serbian. It was all his doing. You demand from us to confess we were the only guilty party of this war? Actually, yes, because you tripped the magical defense grid of people having alliances with other people, and those alliances also being affected by other people. You're the one who walked into the fucking tripwire nest and you blew your legs off. An autistic Serb, and even more autistic Austro-Hungarian war minister. But remember, hostilities have already begun. Good party war. Such a confession in my mouth would be a lie. Actually, not a lie. You had your choice. You made it. You thought everything was going to be fine, and then it wasn't. Germania is the guilty party. Your Kaiserin and her goons plunged our continent into an arms race desperate for a war. You think we can forget all the lives that have been lost because of Wilhelmina's pride and arrogance? Yeah, she kind of got several million people killed. Politicians and officials shout him down as their clamors sound around the hall. Well, I'm not the only guilty party here, says the German diplomat. You were all shooting and having fun, too. That means I'm off the hook. But this treaty, it's too unfair. Well, unfortunately, all the reparations in the world won't bring back the thousands of people you killed. It'll have to do, though. Our nation will cease to be a world power. We cannot afford these economic sanctions. Should have thought of that before you declared war on the entire fucking world. Off with his head. Our people will surely suffer. I won't allow this. Well, if your people suffer, I'm sure they can move to the more prosperous countries. You know, the ones that actually won the war. Good day! You have no power to stop this. Germania's delegation must answer the charge. It's either this, or the war will continue. We will invade your lands. Which will it be, you stinky krauts? Yes. Insult to injury there. But yes, it's either that, or we will actually get to Berlin, and that's gonna be a fun fucking time. What will Germania choose? War or peace? We demand an answer now. Pulled aside by other delegates, and holding back tears, the Germanian representatives hangs their heads. Quietly and anonymously observing from the shadows, the Kaiserin remains solemn, deep in thought. Negotiations were brutal and left Germania in disrepair. Forced to burden the cost of the war, the country fell into a great debt. The monarchy ended, rebellious, competing factionalism gripped the country. With one fell swoop, the Germanian Empire collapsed. And now it's on to the next episode, the Vimer Republic! After some time, the former sovereign of Germania comes back out into the rain, expelled from the chamber. From ahead, she sees her daughter dancing in the puddles with the boy. Yet he is the son of an alliance delegate. One of those that forced this treaty upon her nation. The Kaiserin calls for her daughter. Maybe don't start fucking wars you can't win, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, being cool and powered by your own youth and exuberance is fucking great, but if you get into a situation where you fucking die because you challenge someone too powerful, tough fucking cookies! Come on, it's time for us to leave. I've seen what I came here to see. She grabs the little girl's arm. Huh? Where are we going? We're going into exile. Our country doesn't want us now. There's nothing left back home except rebellion or the guillotine. Fucking... The men. Who are they? Where am I thinking? Whatchamacallit? Good lord, Tino has been too far away. Whatchamacallit? What am I thinking? I managed to pick out Vimer Republic. Good lord. Tino has been too far. I need to play Tino more often. Good lord. I'm sure we'll see that man again. Can't remember his name. He's off playing New Vegas somewhere. But I have to say goodbye to my friend. Before she could say anything more, the little girl is dragged off by the Kaiserin towards their car. The small boy watches as the two struggle and disappear into the rain and mist. Slowly, he waves goodbye and leaves to find his father. Derlwanger, right, Derlwanger. Derlwanger's brigade. Yeah, Derlwanger's just sitting there sharpening a knife, and he's just... Haha. Government-funded anarchists that turn on the government. Great idea. Leveling reparations of such magnitude will force Germania to collapse. Totally won't embitter the survivors to the point where they elect a psychopath to power and use martial law to recover by profiting off the systemic genocide of an entire people. Yes, that's entirely true here. However, the main reason Hitler got so far in the first place is because of the sheer ignorance of the powers afterwards. They could have stopped him, they didn't. And, we kind of have to have consequences for starting wars that kill millions of people, or we do this every fucking week. It's kind of a problem. So, yes, unfortunately, you will obliterate a country doing this, or we could just walk in and shoot them all. Either way, the war's over. Exactly the point of the state. True, I suppose, but that's a different problem entirely. You can level all the reparations on a country that started a fucking horrifying war that destroyed multiple countries in the process. That's not necessarily a bad idea. How it was handled afterwards, though, is kind of the issue. Post-war France is... Interwar France is a silly place. But Europe entered an age of excess. Yes, hyperinflation, unemployment, rebellion, civil wars, military crackdowns, democracies faltered, dictators and generals rose to power and blah, blah, blah. Armies were rebuilt, borders violated, peace treaty, it all went to shit. It's all happening. It is happening again. It is happening again. I, as someone who gets people but hates politics, could see something like this happening. Spite is powerful, and spite and psychosis. Well, unfortunately, Ironclad, the other thing about this, we also have to level blame on the German authorities who handled the reparations. The Weimar Republic was not a good place. It was not a good place, and it wasn't run by good people. So that caused an issue in itself, honestly. Yes, they could say that, oh, well, the German mark is a worthless currency and it's destroying the country. However, the government officials in charge of said country were not fucking good to begin with anyway. So, it's everyone's fault. But anyway. Shenzhanga? Fucking what? Selena, the front lines of the war for conquest of, these are fucking words, man, by the militarist empire of Zipangu. Okay. Okay. This is a bloody and dangerous place, a world away from the peaceful lands that used to exist here. Shelled out cities, countless lives lost and ruined, and a guerrilla war fought in blown out concrete apartment blocks. Where are we? Another battle rages amongst the rebels of a former city here in Shenzhanga. I'm just gonna call you fucking Tenga, though. I'm gonna call this the Tenga Empire. With no sign of an end in sight. Is this Nanking? What's going on? Zipangese? Boy, we're making up words today. A group of Zipangese soldiers desperately tries to take control of a warehouse held by 800 enemies. Their offensives have failed so far, and their numbers have dwindled slowly in the past hours as many retreat. Several soldiers have been cut off in the walls of the compound, surrounded by the Chinese defenders. That's just Chinese with a Z, guys! South of their position, the kitten tank. Jesus fucking Christ. Hey, look, a BA-7. Anyway, force has arrived to resupply the warehouse, while armored cars keep watch. The nationalist fighters are battle-hardened veterans, fiercely proud Zenese, again, just Chinese with a Z, and ready to attack at a moment's notice. It's enough to strike fear into the hearts of the enemy as the Zipangese soldiers desert their positions. One brave Zipangese private holds the line, as Kitten Tang forces slowly begin to surround his position. The situation is dangerous. Buying his squad some time, he stands alone, allowing them a chance to escape. Hey guys, I know this is probably a little bit too late here, but wow, don't you think this is a little bit not exactly even-handed to have the Axis powers literally having heroic last man standing fights every 5 minutes? I think it may tip our hands to a bias here. Maybe someone on the development team has the thing or two, maybe a little bit to an unhealthy degree with all the gratuitous German isms in Japanese anime. This is what I'm getting here. But sure, fine, you guys be wearables. Former Captain's sword in hand, the warrior keeps a determined stance, ready to battle. Staring up at the gray, listless clouds above, he feels the cool breeze blowing against his skin and focuses. He has seen much in this bitter and fruitless conflict, yet he continues to fight to save his comrades. And then he dies because 4 fucking people enter a crossfire and riddle him full of fucking bullets. The end. Suddenly, the Kit and Tang soldiers plunge forward and a battle begins. You mean immediately fucking ends because you're being shot on 4 sides by automatic fire. Now, the one thing that would save you is that if the Chinese soldiers are so fucking stupid that the crossfire actually hits all of them instead of the actual target. But it's probably not gonna happen. And yes, combat. So yeah, now we're playing basically fucking Pokemon with wearable ideals here. What will Zipangi's private do? I'm going to attack. Narikara rifle, strafe. Shungoto blade. That's actually correct. That's actually correct. That's actually the name of the sword that they would give non-commissioned officers. So I got that one right. Oh no, a fucking Renault. Ah, yum. Wow. And then he's fucking dead, the end. It's all fun and games in anime until a fucking Renault shows up. Man. Never saw it coming. See, this is why they have those charts where they warn you about your distance to France, your proximity to France, and how much danger you are. As the soldier struggles to hold out, the enemy keeps coming, one after the other, firing on his position. Overwhelmed, the young man slips away into the darkness, tumbling and turning and tossing. The game ends as a Renault commercial the entire time. Suddenly, I wake up in a cold sweat. I've seen my death many times in my dreams. And it's fucking Assault Horizon now. It's Assault Horizon, but it's all cute girls. Ha ha. Where am I? Yes, Yamato fucking Great Nippon Yamato. My eyes slowly adjust to the bright lights. Looking around, I find myself in a familiar room. White bed sheets feel soft against my skin. Then a cold breeze rolls in through an open window. See, guys, we were gonna play Katawa Shoujo later. Why are we Hisao all of a sudden? Hey, wait a minute. Come on now. I thought we were playing a game about World War II and cute girls. It's not time for cripples yet. That's later. This hospital is far too calm. Noon, present day. I don't know what the fuck the time is, but you just call it... You just call it whatever. You just call it present time, current year, and I'll just roll with it. I hold my hand in front of my face and find I'm shaking. Then, I slowly remember. Gunfire, smoke, bloodshed. In the year 1940X... Yep. It's Mega Man, but it's World War II. It's Mega Man, but Dr. Bright is actually a Japanese scientist, and he's made Mega Man to actually fight in China, and things are really fucking problematic. It seems I was dreaming about that battle again. The bloody battle in Zaina that I always dream about. Yeah, Nanking was a fucking thing. It was the day that I turned my military career around. Until then, I'd been nothing more than a lowly foot soldier, an enlisted soldier fighting for my country. But battling in the city, like Shenzhen, but Tanga City, yes, Tanga City, changed things for young men like me. Yeah, changed things, like ended their lives. After days of urban fighting, I earned a promotion following fighting in Penchang. I earned another. For the next 2 years, I fought and fought until eventually I became an officer, the officer I am now, but it came at a price. Yeah, prices that we won't fucking talk about. Because no one actually likes to talk about the Japanese and China, because holy fucking shit, Jesus Christ, Japan. I've seen a lot of horrifying, evil things. Yeah, I'm haunted by nightmares of the carnage almost every night. Yeah, let's just leave it at that, with very vague fucking statements about it. What a dream. Must be the drugs. God, that's exploitable! Anyway, making the whole experience more vivid. Yeah, chill with the melatonin, it makes the dreams realer. Our wars on the continent, they aren't exactly noble battles for the faint-hearted. They're disillusioning ordeals. That's one way of putting it. Yarg, ow. Sitting up, I suddenly feel a sharp, stabbing pain in my upper arm. I freeze, gritting my teeth. A recent battle in Zuishizu. I opened up an old wound in my shoulder when I was shot. Ah, it's still tender. While the doctor said the injury doesn't seem serious, and the surgery was simple, it really does hurt quite a lot still. Shot again in the same spot, and I've been hospitalized ever since. In any case, I should hopefully be out of here in the next few days. Looking to my right, I see a folder left open on my bedside. A discharge form neatly pokes out the side. My name printed in bold. Yeah, I got to go home. Also, he's 21? What? Warrant Officer Yamato, Grand Nippon Yamato. 21 years old, cause of admittance, rifle shot to the shoulder. I'm Yamato, Grand Nippon Yamato, an officer in the army of the Zippangese Empire. Dai Zeppangu Taiko fuck it. Just call it Base Nippon already. Fuck. This might as well just replace all of that with Base Nippon. Yamato. You know, like the Admiral? Yeah, I got that. You know what the fuck they're doing, though. Despite my youth and having been enlisted, I'm considered by many to be a great soldier. My victories in battles, holding forsaken positions, somehow beating back to superior forces, my kill-to-death ratio. I slapped the fucking writer for doing that. Yeah, your kill-to-death ratio. It's 0 to how many fucking people you've murdered. That's why we don't actually talk about that. Unless you're an aircraft pilot or something like that. But even still, I'd slap the right... Don't put fucking KD in there. I don't believe it myself. It was probably down to dumb luck more than anything. Really sketchy writing. Well, if it isn't the lazy boy soldier, I see you're finally awake. A rather grumpy nurse stands over me. She's the one assigned to watch over this ward. Nearby, other somewhat older soldiers are sat up reading or chatting about their experiences. For some time, this nurse has been trying to get me to mingle with the others. Not that she's had much success. Laziness. That's the trouble with men your age. You shouldn't sleep in so much. Your wound wasn't that deep. Yeah, I know. Hey, we are talking about a rifle shot to the shoulder, you know. Well, even if you were shot and hospitalized, sleeping in until midday is pushing it. Wow. Thanks, Base Japan. This nurse is a real hardball. Fine, I'll get up earlier from now. Glad to hear it. Now, since you're awake, how about you get up and go for a stroll? Your legs are working fine, so go get some fresh air, and for your own sake, start talking to the other patients. How would that help me recover? Fine, I suppose she's bothered me about it enough already. Yeah, fine, I'll go talk to other people and make friends or some shit. He walks into the next room and it's the fucking veranda scene from Cross of Iron, where the people are there and then they're not, and then they're there and then they're not, and then they're metaphorical interpretations or representations of the horrors of the war, and then they're not there again, and then I'm sitting in a chair, then I'm back on the front, then I'm in there, and he's in there, and we're in here, and what I want to know is where the fuck is Stalin? How? I want to know is how the hell did that man win the Iron Cross? I guess I'll go for a walk around the hospital, but first, let's check in on the other patients here. Okay. What if I just... But okay, I just talk to the old man then. It sure is a nice day out. Zipangu really is a pensioner's paradise. You think so? The fresh mountain air, the healthy diet, the peaceful atmosphere, and respectful militant citizenry. Yes! Yes! Look at all those crazy people willing to die for the Emperor. Yeah, it's fantastic. Really safe. Mm-hmm. Neighborhood watch is really a treat. You might have a point there. If only that nurse would let me out of here. And my kids never visit me, and my brother passed away. And it doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work anymore? What? Sounds like he has it rough. It doesn't work anymore? What? Anyway. It doesn't work anymore. It. Oh, right. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. We were raiding this compound near, a word, a munitions factory. They set up all these tripwires. Half my unit was blown all to hell. I barely got out of there alive. Cost me my legs. Lieutenant Dan! Lieutenant Dan, do you know why Stransky won the Iron Cross? Lieutenant Dan! You got no legs, Lieutenant Dan! War is a dangerous thing. Quiet! Visiting soldier. My squad found an abandoned warehouse, sacks full of rice stacked to the ceiling. That's a lucky break. We thought we'd pilfer a few, but it was a trap. We were surrounded by meows. The communists are cat girls. This is a problem. Meowis, yes, meowiths, yes, mm-hmm. Emperor Maoist Zedong. Meow Zedong. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Comrade Meow, yes. Chinese zombies. What? Could you just... Those aren't even words! What are these? So you just fucking changed the first letter of it to a random letter and suddenly it's a new thing you won't get sued for? What? What, Martin? What? What's with the Hearts of Iron 4 UI? I think these people only play Hearts of Iron. The Comrade Meow joke was so bad, I now have a nosebleed. Okay. So are the Nationalist Kitten Tank. Now I get it! Yes! Alright, but that's kind of a terrible imagery to place near the, place in front of the audience here, but we're clearly not thinking that hard, because, yeah, well, it's, yeah, the Empire of Base Nippon invaded China, then proceeded to slaughter cat girls. Some of them were communists, though. Some of them deserved it, apparently. Luckily, another squad came by, and we outnumbered the enemy 2-1. I won a medal for that capture. Some people get lucky like that. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. There's, it's a mixed bag out there fighting the cat girl communists. Good lord. The youth. What is the state of the youth? I'm here for my physical. If I pass, I get to sign up and fight. I can't wait to get those Kitten Tang cowards. This boy wants to kill cat girls for his country. Good lad. I swear, recruits are getting younger and younger these days. Maybe that's a fucking problem. But I'm sure the war's going fine. Good for you. I wonder if he'll make it through basic training. Okay, the nurse. Can I help you? No, not particularly. I don't want to ruffle her feathers too much. Yeah, just... yes, the next great anime trope. Child soldiers. Yes, put that boy in the Gundam. It looks like the surgery went successfully. We removed almost all of the shrapnel. There's still some in there. Don't worry, you haven't damaged anything important. You also found fragments of human bone. Nothing to worry about, though. I'm sure you're already deep. But it was really impressive, managing to hit managed to get hit in the same spot twice. First Wuko and then Zui Shui's words. Tell me about it. I'll make sure you're discharged before the end of the day. Thank you, Doctor. Oh, I'm not a doctor. What? My joke failed? Act like a professional, damn it. Ah, yes, one more thing. There was an official looking for you earlier. An official? Yes, a man from the Navy. He wants to talk to you. A Navy official? That's rather ominous. I wonder what he could want. Okay, not only did the doctor's joke fail, the writer's joke failed too, because that was incredibly dumb. Okay, but sure, fine. Fantastic. Moving on. That's just the nurse with a different fucking outfit. Come on, guys, you can pay your artist more. I'm sure of it. My husband passed away yesterday. It was an awful way to go. I'm sorry to hear that. He had a heart attack when he heard I was dating his brother. Okay, that joke is actually kind of funny, but that's still kind of a... Moving on, dear Johns. Oh, Ken, I feel so bad. Don't worry, my darling. I'm sure he would have wanted it this way. I think he would disagree, but I shouldn't get involved in private quarrels. Yes, yeah, sure. Let's not think too hard about the feelings of a dead man. He's dead after all. Right. Mm-hmm. Okay, well then there's that. We talked to everybody. The writing is present. Well, that really wasn't worth it after all. Yep. Patients are either total bores or nutcases, plain and simple. They're not even the fun nutcases. Let's go to the psych ward. Plain and simple, but I guess hospitals do that to people. I decided to go for a stroll. Wrapping myself in my gown, I get up out of bed and wander around. I guess this is nice. It's kind of peaceful here. The corridors are airy and bright, and there's little to fret over. Other patients stroll past in a leisurely manner. One old man has a wide grin as a nurse drags him by the arm, probably off to have a sponge bath. I'm put off by how calm it is, but this is a country at peace, for the most part. There are no enemy fleets or armies making their way here anytime soon. Oh boy, when they do, though. Zipangu is a world away from the wars on the continent, the wars that they started. Even if things are calming down, they're probably getting worse. Battles in the north with the Soviets, okay, are coming to a close. The Kit and Tang are on the retreat. Following my injury, I was taken on a frigate back to Zipangu. Most soldiers stay in field hospitals out in Zina. Doodle says hello. Ha ha! Fucking, what? Hilarious one-way ticket. I guess that, thanks to family connections, and with my service finished, they didn't mind shipping me home. For some reason, I was fast-tracked and brought back early. Maybe they want to parade me around. Brave fighters are often brought back to Zipangu to travel the country and help raise cash for the war effort. Yes! Buy war bonds! Cut off the heads of Chinese. It's a great time. I guess that's the reason I'm even here. Just my luck. Suddenly, from ahead, a sweaty-looking patient in a gown comes running my way. Out of the way! They're coming for me! They're coming! Ooh, who's coming for you? The nurses want to inject me with something. I hate needles. I hate injections! Several orderlies and nurses chase after him, trying to restrain the loose patient. Get back here, you crazy old fool! Out of my way! You know, this isn't quite Emmy's arc. Again. Playing Kato Shoujo some other time, not today. Before I can react properly, the old man barges into me and I'm knocked clean to the ground. The hospital staff run past, continuing to give chase as the patient causes havoc down the hallway. Ow. My head begins to throb as a large bruise forms in the back of my skull. This really isn't my day. I hear footsteps beside me and a stern yet kind voice calls to me. That looked like it hurt. Here, let me give you a hand. Slowly, I opened my eyes to look at the kind stranger. Is it the nurse from Katawa Shoujo? No, it's the guy from the Navy. But I soon realized it's no stranger at all. It's actually a very familiar face. What kind of scrapes have you been getting yourself into, huh? Uncle Yamamoto? It's my uncle, Vice Admiral Yamamoto. Okay. Commander-in-Chief of the Combo Fleet. Combo Fleet? Combo Fleet. What, are we're gonna... Is he out there in the Pacific playing Street Fighter and he's gonna get totally zoned by a fucking lightning? Get it? The combined fleet? Ah, yes, but... That's still a stupid joke. Moving on. He's a real bigwig and one of the most respected military men in the country. Never let yourself be taken by surprise. Never let yourself be taken by surprise, says the man who died in a surprise attack by a lightning. Or haven't I taught you enough by now? All warfare is based on deception, but I wasn't really expecting that. Taking my uncle's hand, I clambered to my feet with a wheeze. Other patients and doctors looked startled, completely shocked by the presence of such a high-level official. What are you doing here, Uncle? I wasn't expecting any visitors today. Do as I say, not as I do, says the man who gets shot down in a bed. I'm actually here on official business. What kind of business? My uncle smirks in that old familiar way. He really makes me feel like a kid again. I'm meant to be meeting with the illustrious war hero, Warrant Officer Yamato Yamamoto. You wouldn't happen to know him by any chance, would you? Come along, Uncle. I'm not a war hero. Don't be shy. Aren't you the man who took out 50 Kit and Tang enemies with a sniper rifle at Penchang while on half rations? Yeah, right. Tell us about all the cat girls you slaughtered out there mercilessly, you fucking animal. Told you that saved the lives of 300 men under his command and still held out? Stories about me may have been exaggerated, but I can't deny that sounds like me. Yeah, I guess that's me. Ah, what happened to my scrappy nephew who dropped out of the academy all those years ago? Look at you now. Enlisted as a private and already an officer. The army must be proud to have a war hero like you amongst their ranks. Amongst its ranks. I don't know about that, Uncle. I'm really not a war hero. I just don't believe that. Yeah, it's too fucking chaotic and senseless out there for anybody to call themselves a hero. But everybody else out there, way out there on the peaceful side of things, can just kind of look at me and give me some kind of weird-ass perception about myself. It's fantastic. Suddenly, my uncle turned serious for a moment. Do you really mean that, nephew? Well, I just did my duty, taking dangerous assignments in order to survive. Taking dangerous assignments in order to survive. Putting myself in danger to survive. I'm sorry, what? It isn't exactly a chivalrous war over there. Bloody, dangerous, and confused fighting. Very few soldiers clung onto their honor battling in that country. I don't deserve to be called a hero. Not really. A few moments of silence pass. Then the Vice Admiral breaks into a big smile again. You really are my nephew, aren't you? It's an honor to finally see you again, Warrant Officer Yamamoto. Michael beams with pride, so this is what it feels like to have a relative who's proud of you. Thanks. So, what's the official business about? It's not to do with the family farm, is it? No, it's a more serious matter. My uncle puts a stern expression, pulls a stern expression and clears his throat. I'm here on the orders of the Prime Minister. You've been given a very special honor. Huh? Prime Minister Abe? Well, boy. Martin, when did this game come out? If it was, woo. You mean the country's leader? Second only to the imperial family? Yes, as far as I know, your file was pulled recently. You're to report to the palace as soon as possible, with top-level clearance. The Prime Minister asked after me? Wait a minute. Did you say the palace? Did you hit your head? Imperial Palace, in the center of Edo. You know, the home of the Imperial family. The Imperial family, does that mean what I think it means? Some kind of ceremony? A medal? A personal audience? Vice Admiral goes silent for a moment. Nearby, soldiers and patients lean in, trying to listen in on the exciting conversation. Uncle? I can't say for certain, but you're to report to me as soon as you're discharged. I'll be driving you to the palace myself. This is top-level stuff, you know. The details are classified. I'm not entirely sure I believe it, but why would he joke about something like that? Top-level stuff. Wow. I'm going to the Imperial Palace, home of the Emperor himself. Emperor Hirohito. Right, yes. I mean... Yeah, sure, you just make up words about real people. It's rude to refer to the Emperor by their given name. They must be addressed in the proper manner. Yes, Tojo. I'm just me, an American. We can do whatever the fuck we want. Thank you for telling me, Uncle. I am most honored to be given such an honor. It was a pleasure informing such a fine soldier. You seem to have earned a little reward anyway. I tried to salute, but my arm still hurt still, so I bowed deeply and respectfully instead. Anyway, finish your test and report outside of the hospital entrance later on. I'll collect you from there. My uncle, the Vice Admiral Yamamoto, salutes and walks off. His task completed. Pinch me, I can't believe this is happening. I've been invited to the home of the Emperor. I'll have to get dressed in my best uniform and head out on my way as soon as possible. Where do you think you're going? The nurse from earlier steps out into the corridor, eyeing me suspiciously. Me? I've been invited to the palace for a special meeting, so I have to get ready to leave now. Oh, no you don't. I've heard that one before. You can't be discharged until your doctor signs you out. But, Emperor... Honors! Palace! No buts. You're a sick patient and you need your rest. Back into the bed, mister. 1 second she tells me to get up and go get some fresh air, and now she wants me back in my cot. I wish this nurse would just make up her mind already. I'm made to go through 1 or 2 routine tests before I'm finally discharged. It's a relief to leave such a clinical and dull place. I really do hate hospitals. Again, this is really feeling... It's probably not intentionally referencing Kato Shoujo, but Jesus fucking Christ almighty, could we have started a more cliche place? As I step outside onto the street, I find my uncle waiting for me with a black car. Right. Are you ready to meet your destiny, Warrant Officer Yamamoto? As ready as I can be. Okay, hop in. Let's prep on the way. We both climb into the back seat, slowly make our way through the streets of Edo, towards the palace. Excuse me. That was welling up there for a bit. Jesus H fucking Christ, quality CGs. As the car pulls away, several army trucks full of soldiers begin to follow us along the road. Yes, as we gyrate here in our car here that may or may not be like pedal powered like the fucking Flintstones. This is why everything's just fucking jumping up and down. We vibrate down the road. Awooga. Won't they ever give me a moment of peace? Uncle, what are those trucks for? It's my professional protection detail. Just ignore them. Protection detail from the army? That's strange. Why would a naval vice admiral need the army's protection? So how does it feel to be going to the Imperial Palace? Are you nervous? Of course. Who wouldn't be nervous about something like this? Meeting someone like that? You'll be fine. They're okay once you get to know them. They don't bite, anyway, not often. Not often. Well, if I wasn't nervous before, I am now. Let's talk about something to pass the time. It'll calm you down ahead of your meeting. Okay, that sounds like a good plan. What shall we talk about? I feel better already. I'm tempted just this once. Yeah. So have you calmed down at all? Surprisingly, yes. I'm just tempted. You could buy the game and read everything yourself, ladies and gentlemen. I was tempted just to do that. The exposition is ham-fisted, so much so that they give you an option to fucking skip it. Surprisingly, yes. I can't even remember why I was so nervous in the first place. I say, having said absolutely fucking nothing, and having nothing said to me. Well, because we're on our way to the Imperial Palace. What? Of course. What am I wasting my time thinking about? Absolutely fucking nothing. I'm going to meet the Emperor. That's what I should be focused on. The Emperor. I'm going to be meeting with him myself, the ruler of the Empire, a heavenly power on Earth. I really can't believe it. I'll be in the presence of a butch mind-reading demigod, the Emperor. That's a strange fucking term to be using there, but okay, fine. That's not the word I would have used. I think I'm going to be sick. Soon enough, we arrive at the home of the royal family, the illustrious Edo Imperial Palace. I slap myself awake, and we both step out of the car. Wow, I can't believe it. Standing in the grounds of the palace, I'm astounded by the beauty of the surroundings. Traditional buildings poke out from the treetops, nestled amongst the pristine rock gardens and plants. The high stone foundations, remnant of the former castle here, stand tall and imposing. A clean river flows through the grounds, with koi fish swimming beneath the glistening surface. An official greets us at the car as I stare up at the palace on the hill. Warrant Officer Yamamoto, is it? Yes, that's me. Haha, man, I can't wait till LeMay just turns this all to ash. Curtis LeMay just fucking revving up them B-29s. Just firebombs for days. Very good, sir. Please follow me this way, if you will. Doolittle's gonna get here first, though. The uptight man walks up a flight of steps, through the large gates, and into a building fronting the main palace. Come on, Uncle, let's go. Not me, nephew. I'll catch up with you later. I have some errands to run first. It seems I'm doing this on my own. Well, so much for the family reunion. Just be honest and straightforward. Good luck, nephew. Make your family proud. I'm counting on you. Thanks, Uncle, for everything. We both salute one another, and I make my way into the building after the official. As we walk through many corridors and smaller buildings, I'm eventually led into a grand entrance hall. Okay. Wow, Edo Imperial Palace. I'm actually here. This Martin, this looks like the ballroom from the fucking scenes from Oh What a Lovely War. This doesn't look like an Imperial Palace. This legit looks like the fucking ballroom they have all the gag, like the political gag scenes in Oh What a Lovely War, right? Right? Huh? All of a sudden, any fucking second now, Pershing's gonna come bursting through a door behind me and take over everything. Look around at the vast entrance hall. Ornate golden carvings line the high vaulted ceilings. I mean, okay, so that's a little bit more Victorian than I actually expected here, but still, a lot of stained glass by the looks of things. Portraits hang on the pristine pink walls, portraying the imperial family and the history of our nation. Were they pink? Servants wait patiently in front of double doors, dressed in tailcoats and white gloves. Classy place. A grand staircase sits ahead, probably leading up to some kind of inner chamber or the throne room. It's all very Western. Almost like a palace out of a foreign fairy tale. Well, yeah, that's what I said. But of course, we had a Japanese westernization was kind of abrupt and accelerated sort of thing, so maybe this isn't that surprising. The Edo Imperial Palace was constructed sometime after the Imperial Restoration decades ago. Outwardly, the palace has the Zipanguese aesthetic, but the insides are furnished in a foreign style. Chandeliers, carpeting, marble pillars, strange chairs and tables, it's all rather impressive. The weedy-looking official turns to me. Welcome to Edo Imperial Palace, sir. We've been waiting for this moment for at least a few hours. You have? Yes, it's not every day that something like this happens. I mean, a man of your background. My background? It must be because of my military history. I started out as a common soldier, so they don't expect someone to rise the way I did. Why would someone from such a low military standing, even with strong family connections, ever enter the palace? Well, because the plot fucking says so, obviously, moron. It's most peculiar, but things like this happen, I suppose. It can't be helped. Now, if you'll please wait here, sir, I'll check if the Imperial Majesty and the delegation are ready to see you. So, I'm actually meeting them. I mean, thank you very much for the honor. I give a deep and humble bow. The official bows gently in return, then traverses the staircase and disappears behind a double door. I can't wait to see inside the throne room. To think it's where the Emperor greets his guests. Normally you would expect to be shown into the court and he would already be waiting and seated. After that, I think you would have to bow and then slowly approach, or is it approach and then bow? I know it's a special bow, a 70 degrees bow used to show extreme reverence. Yes, 73 degrees. Sure. I forgot to bring my protractor with me, so out of character for a military strategist. I thought maybe the official would also run me through the proper procedure. I guess he forgot. What should I do? I don't want to look the Emperor in the eye at the wrong moment or anything. Maybe I should ask someone. Ask for help here. I approach a servant carrying a tray full of empty glasses. Excuse me, can you help me at all? I'm a little concerned about procedure. Leave me alone, I'm working. I guess he's too busy to help me. Looking about nervously, I find another servant who is deep in conversation with a maid. Wow, you have like you guys have like 4 common characters in the background, right? You just cycle outfits on them. Boy, that's budget. I don't know. They're always demanding snacks and sneaking chocolates. But we have to keep them looking slim and healthy. It's for the good of the Empire. They appear out of nowhere. I was wondering where they were keeping them hidden. That's what you worry about? And I'm here wondering where I can find a husband. Nobody finds maids attractive. I'm doomed to never marry. Lady! I suppose it's a different time, but I disagree with that. Nobody what? Nobody what? You heard the woman. Maybe she's before her time? At last, the servant notices me. Dwindling there. Can I help you, sir? Yes, thank you. Would you happen to know the protocol for a private meeting with the Imperial Majesty? Oh. Ha! Oh, you're serious. Let me laugh even harder. I'm afraid not, sir. You'll have to ask a palace official. I only really stand here all day. I've never seen them go through this particular door. It sounds like a bit of a pointless job. Shh, not so loud. Do you have any idea how much this job pays? I think he's in this for the wrong reasons. Everybody needs a fucking job, right? Moving on to something else, I've decided to try a fellow soldier nearby. I approach the guard standing watch. How goes it? What are you guarding? Nothing in particular. I'm security. I'm hired to guard this general area in case of any danger. Anything exciting? Well, there have been rumors of a threat to the royal family's lives. We believe the fucking communist cat girls group is behind it. Yeah, we gotta top Meow. We gotta top Emperor Meow. We gotta top that somehow. Let me see the Commeowis? Eh? Communists? Commeowis? Something like that? We can work on that. And yeah, it's just literally just an X in front of communism. Really? There are always sensational stories in the newspaper about communist groups and nationalists. Some rumor of a bomb threat or plans to start a riot, or the army trying to take over again. Commeowis. My brain is melting out my ears. Yeah, this is kind of what I expected in terms of it being silly. However, it's got a lot of detail, but not a lot of character to it. Get me? Or a lot of charm, I should say. It's got character to it because it's so fucking goofy, but it's just a lot of fucking information, and it's just, you know, it's not gonna really stick. It's not charming enough to be its own thing. It's not like, I mean, fuck, Tanya, that universe is basically just World War I and World War II at the same fucking time with the name tags filed off. However, that has a lot of character in how it does this exact same fucking thing. So, you know, it has some charm to it, I should say. That's what I'm trying to fucking articulate. This is just, we just wrote a fucking script and then we just put fucking random names. We changed letters and names and made some dumb jokes. Or the prelude to Order 44. Yeah, right. Usually they're just students arrested for pamphleting or getting drunk in public. I didn't think it would go so far as to put the royal family in danger. Observing the guard closely, he looks like he hasn't slept in a week. It's a tough duty, but someone's gotta do it. He teeters as he says that, his eyes opening and shutting quite a bit. Keep up the good work, soldier. I guess I'll leave him to do his job. I'll just wait until the official comes back and see what he does. Very quickly, the conversation in the room hushes as the doors at the top of the staircase open wide. You see, if we just press just go with, if we pressed just go with it, we would have arrived here. And thus you have to turn around and really, like, question the worth of that entire scene of just, you know, looking around and, you know, most of that was apparently supposed to be a joke, and then the soldier was giving this, like, sort of historical exposition, basically, by the conversation. It didn't really feel all that valuable, though. It just kind of feels like it's just talking and talking and talking, and nothing really amazing is coming out. But then again, this is a game where the dictators are little girls, and also the art's not fantastic, so kind of expected. Speaking of which, out of the throne room steps a sprightly-looking girl, and the servants all around stand to attention before bowing. Maids either side wait patiently and look on in awe at this rather fetching woman. Dressed in a ceremonial kimono, she stands at the helm of the steps and peers down at me with a calm smile. So, this is the daring warrior, Yamamoto, that I've heard so much about. Yes, and this is where we have a very strange, bizarre situation where I guess our main character wants to fuck the gender-bent emperor. This is all very bizarre. A rather beautiful youth, the girl gives off an aura of authority. Silky black hair, a hime-cut fringe with side bangs is tied at the left in a long ponytail. Sharp. Her outfit makes use of royal reeds, pinks, and purples, and is outwardly a very feminine dress. The kimono, whilst a little simple at first glance, is finely decorated with sakura petal imprints. Yes, we can quite see that. I must say, you aren't quite what I was expecting. I look up to the girl's moist eyes. A pair of clear, dark, and determined irises stare straight back. Moist eyes. Yeah, this writing's a little fucking weird in its details. Yeah. Okay. It's a strength of sorts, a powerful femininity. Spreading her arms in greeting, the girl gives a gentle head bow. Greetings, brave officer Yamato Yamamoto. I hope you'll forgive Zhaojin's absence today. Zayuni words. She must be referring to Princess Zionji? Whatever the fuck, a royal advisor and elder stateswoman. I'm afraid Fusa is also unavailable, as well as so it's just me and my servants today. These are all probably referencing real people, but they're just fucking playing retarded things with the names and trying to be cute. Yeah, moist eyeballs. I came here to play a game about dictators from World War II that are cute little girls, and we walk away with moist eyeballs. Moist eyeballs. The funny things you find when you start looking. As for this girl, perhaps she's a priestess who will run me through procedures? Or possibly an under-secretary to the Emperor himself? Or some other member of the household? Putting on my best behavior, I smile and bow gently to myself. Oh, a little bow before one such as myself? I admire your courage, I really do. She says this all rather jokingly, smiling the whole while through. Although we do live in a different time, let's do without the kowtow for now. What do you say? I smile at the rhyme, but remain silent, waiting for her cue. You certainly are a quiet man. Did you show such courage in China, I wonder? I'm just gonna say China. Fuck, have some effort there. Although I imagine it takes a different sort of courage to be impertinent. Impertinent? Is this girl mocking me? Huh? What are you talking about? The servants surrounding me all gasp in shock at my question. The girl seems unmoved and maintains her calm demeanor. Unintentionally talking to probably the Emperor. We all thought you were a guy, though. No, that's just fake news. It's propaganda. Right, no, and everybody's, actually shocked at this. Curt words make for a bold first impression. You are a soldier first and a gentleman second, I take it. Why are you talking to me like this? I'm from a former clan myself, you know. More gasps fill the air. One maid looks particularly ready to faint. Sorry to be rude, but I really just want to meet the Emperor. There's no need to keep making remarks at my expense. And got ya. The room goes silent. The guards slowly turn towards me, their hands reaching for their sidearms. However, one look from the girl and they withdrew. It seems there's been some confusion here. You're telling me first the procedure thing, now this. I imagine you're rather nervous about meeting Imperial royalty for the first time. Royalty? What do you mean? Is she a princess of some kind? Don't tell me I just insulted a member of the royal family. You kind of could have gathered that by the entrance and then the entourage and the foofy looking outfit. You probably could have inferred that. But who the fuck is this aside from literally gender bet Tojo? I'm sorry, Your Majesty. I didn't realize I was talking to a relative of the Emperor. Hastily, I make a very low bow and hang my head. I'm surprised she hasn't beheaded me yet. Being rude to a member of the royal family is akin to treason. Relative, I think you're still a little confused. Raise your head. I do so and look into the girl's eyes. Yes, the moist eyes again. Tell us more about how moist the eyes are. Tell us how slick the eyeballs are. Please. Is it like a watery sort of slick and moist, or we're like talking like Vaseline or something like that? Is it kind of icky? What's going on? Tell us more, really. Hirohito, Tojo was the PM. My mistake. No, wait, I'm not meant to do that either. Let me clarify. I am no lower family member, or a courtesan, or even a princess. My apologies. I am the Emperor. Empress Hirohito. How do you fuck that up? How that you see? Okay, so I know this is funny, just trying to be funny and cute, but how do you fuck that up? How do you have a society that's devoted to the image of this person, and you fuck up? Oh wait, it's a girl. That's a little bit too much even for a comedy anime. How do you rationally write that one? How do you look at that and go, yeah, this is fine, even for a fucking parody? I know it's a parody, but good lord, have some sense here. Okay. Yes, so the Emperor is a woman. The Emperor has clothes. The Emperor has a kimono. That's right, Empress, if you like, but people call me Niante for short. Yes, Niante. Yeah, more fucking cat things. I'm just going to point out, this part is straight from the demo from years ago. Wow, this is like one of the older parts of the game, too. Jesus fucking Christ. Empress? So, I was just insulting Niante, the Empress, the entire time? Wait, what have I done? Fallen for a really obnoxious and kind of suspectly written parody comedy. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I'm just a recruit. I didn't know what I was doing. How do you... Again, this is completely wrong, but okay, fine. It's not even... Like, this wouldn't even happen in a parody anime. It's kind of silly, but okay. Everyone would kind of know if the Emperor was a woman. They kind of worship this person as a god. They kind of know who this person is. I go into a low bow, my forehead practically touching my toes. Yep, slamming your head directly into the concrete. The Emperor is an Empress. The Emperor is an Empress? Yeah, explain this one. What's going on here? I've spent all this time, all my life, thinking our royal leader was a butch man. Again, strange fucking word to use. But what about the anthem I learned in school, and the oaths and the pledges? Did I learn it all wrong? Was I just mishearing all this time? I suppose Niante can refer to either a man or a woman? It's not too far-fetched. It's the modern era, after all. Yeah, okay. Then the Empress is much like Empress Pingu of antiquity, or we could just say... How did no one correct him? No, that still doesn't make any sense. I'm surprised you didn't know. A bit of a fox pass on your part. No, literally intentionally deceptive and nonsensical. But go ahead. No, forgive me. It was just that I didn't know you were a woman. I fumble as I try to say something smart. One wrong word more, and I could be in serious trouble. Please forgive my ignorance, most honorable Niente Heke. Words. I didn't know what you looked like. Raise your head. Slowly, I come out of my bow again. It's understandable. I spent most of my life behind closed doors. I'm not a very photogenic person. After all, why should someone from your social standing know what I look like? You kinda need to. I mean, if you were that insistent on being revered as a god, you would want to correct people who think you are a man when you are not. That's actually insulting to a woman in this time. You would want to praise the Empress for her beauty and womanly airs and all of this other shit rather than refer to him as a man. This is clearly, again, you're starting to see how this is just silly even for a comedy game. I'd always assumed that the Emperor refused photography and never liked to go out in public. I guess I don't really read the newspapers much, so I wouldn't know if there were even pictures, even if there were pictures. I've seen a photograph of an imperial horse named White Snow, but the Empress, the high-pitched voice does make more sense now that I think about it. But I'm certain I'm not the only one, though. Out in the countryside, would people know a thing like this? Again, you'd kind of want to tell them this. If she's only referred to as genderless Nante, then how many people actually know we have a female ruler? This is like an incredibly bad take on King Arthur is a woman. This feels like it's trying to be that, but it's really fucking terrible. Forgive me, Empress, I'm extremely sorry, I didn't know. Again, this feels like it's trying to be as, amazing as Fate's, take on making King Arthur a woman is, but it's not nearly as good. Or it doesn't really make any fucking sense, honestly. Now that this misunderstanding has been cleared up, it's time to discuss why you were called here. Yes, please tell me why I'm the anime protagonist now. Nante opens up a parasol and begins to twirl it above her head. Then she slowly descends the staircase. Coming towards me, I realize the girl is slightly shorter than I am, reaching to about chest height. I soon find myself staring down at those dark eyes of hers. Yes, tell us more about the moist eyes again. I'm pretty sure I'm meant to avoid eye contact. You see, this is a funny thing, honestly, because I'm not exactly sure how much peer review that this went through. Yeah, if I wrote something as egregiously weird as moist eyes in anything I wrote, Martin and Kyusha would shoot me, and they would make jokes about it relentlessly, as I am doing now. So I have no idea how the fuck this got through, even the writer's friends. Moist eyes. You could sit here making jokes for weeks. It's probably too late by this point. You seem overwhelmed. Yes, Empress, it's just... the palace is quite impressive. Since the Imperial Restoration, the palace is decorated in a Western sense. I noticed. Due to the large number of diplomats arriving from Europa during the Restoration, it seemed right to appeal to their tastes. The Empress quickly flicks a hand gesture at the servants, possibly indicating to leave. The maids in the room bow and shut the doors behind them, leaving me alone with Nyante. Now, we should discuss why it is I've called you here today. I assumed I was to be awarded a medal of some kind by my services. However, the tone of this meeting seems more serious. I received word several days ago of your achievements in the battle fighting China. Decorated at the city of Tenga. Wounded in Wuko fighting the communist cat girls. You have quite an impressive resume. Thank you, Empress. It's an honor to hear you praise me. It feels surreal to be praised by her. She certainly carries authority anyway. With a hand on her hip and the parasol casually resting on her shoulder, the girl seems to be walking in a man's shoes. She holds out her hand. I simply look on in confusion. Well? Are you a parrot or something? Don't repeat people. It's a rude habit. I'm sorry. I'm offering you my hand. Now take it. Offering me her hand? As in marriage? Is this girl proposing to me in the strangest of circumstances? A proposal? Certainly not. I mean, we just met after all. Unless she wants to be me to be a consort. Yeah. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Polygamy is pretty common among the royal family. She's such a beauty. She probably has a harem of hot guys. Guys, this is really fucking all over the place in terms of writing. I could tell by the art style that we might get a little cringy sometimes, but we walk past it. But holy fucking shit! What if we held hands after a horrific misunderstanding? That could have resulted in my death. Well, clearly we're gonna have another horrific misunderstanding where I insinuate that the Empress is a whore, and then actually die. I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't understand. Ignoring me, Nyante takes hold of my hand, turning it over. She very gently brushes her fingers over my skin. Is the skin dry? Is it the antithesis of the moist eyes? Are we perfect? Is this a meeting? No, it's also moist. Jesus Christ, man. Your dyslexia is bad today. Yes, it is. Moist, yeah. She keeps an attentive gaze the entire time as she traces along the lines on my palm. Your hands feel very coarse. Ah, they are dry! and tough. You must have battled hard for the Empire. Mainly for my brothers in arms. Huh? Not for your empire or your empress? Apologies, but I fought with the best. I fought with the best, Your Imperial Majesty. I am only here today because of my fellow soldiers. I fought for them primarily. When honor is lost in battle, the only hope you have left is your comradeship. Is comradeship. My. I'm certain that's true. I appreciate the honesty anyway. Releasing my hand, she smiles again before letting the expression fall away. Anyway, you probably want to know why you've been summoned. Yes, laboriously. As we have labored to this point, we'd like to get on with it. The Empress motions to the doorway and calls out. You can come in now. Go Juroku? It's time. Go Juroku? Does she mean... A tall, dark figure enters the room through a pair of heavy double doors. Yante, Your Majesty. Hello again, nephew. Why didn't you fucking tell me this, you moron? Uncle Yamato? The familiar form of my uncle makes another unexpected appearance, for the second time today. Bowing politely, the Vice Admiral makes his way over towards us. You could have told me about all of this, but you refrained from doing so. Uncle... I'm sorry, Uncle, but maybe you deserve to be shot down by a P-38. Well, I've made up my mind. And he's a good lad, isn't he? Yes, I've always been a great judge of character, and he's certainly impressive, if not a little unobservant. Can you please not talk about me in front of my face like that? Was that some kind of test or something? Anyway, what's this all about, Uncle? What are you doing here, too? I wasn't lying when I said this was a top-level meeting, nephew. The truth is, Warrant Officer, we need your help. Of course they do. Huh? Are they joking? The Empress and my uncle need my help, but I'm just a soldier. Tell us, what do you know about Germania? Germania? As in the country with the sausages and lederhosen? Yes, Germania. Officially known as the Empire of Germania, is a central nation in the continent of Europa. Okay, so, fuck, what, just say, Swiss, Swizzy. That sounds European, but it sounds like the name of some kind of retarded, like, European snack food you'd find in a supermarket over there. Hungary, Hangrana. They appear to have remembered, Luxembourg? I think? 'Cause that would be France and Belgium over there, but that's apparently, these are apparently the Low Countries up here, so that's the Dutch. So that'd be Belgium, and that'd be France, but... Where the fuck did they get Travaria from? Where's Frenchyland? Off there. Brown here, about where her breasts would be if she had any. And that's where Goon gets fucking beheaded by the Empress. Yeah, right about here. Right, some heavy conflict going on right about here. But yeah, where the fuck did they get Travaria, and why is that Luxembourg? Right, so where are they going with this? It's a vast dictatorship controlled by, holy sweet mother of God. Controlled by a powerful and persuasive individual known as Aldorofia Hitora. Half Japanese. How could you guess? Okay. Adorofia. Okay. Militaristic, deceptive, and heading towards a war with other major world powers. At least, that's according to some politically engaged soldiers I knew in China. I've heard of her, but I'm not as up-to-date on politics as I should be. During the last Great War, Germania was our enemy. Not long ago, they were supporters of the Chinese regime. They provided General fucking Zai Sheks and her rebels in China with weapons, uniforms, and training. That explains the rounded helmets and sleek weapons. I wondered how the Chinese got their hands on them. So they're our enemies? The Empress and my uncle both pull uncomfortable expressions. In my last government, the pro-army ministers tried to pivot towards friendly relations with Germania. It seems that the radical army factions in Zapangu and their supporters are keen on a close alliance with Hitora. Huh? But why? Didn't she supply the Chinese with weapons? Germania is supposedly anti-fucking cat girl. No cat girls for domestic ownership. Especially the dictator Hitora. She hates cat girls. Throw them in camps. So, an alliance with Germania might prove useful in a war against the Union of Soviet. See guys, at this point, why don't you just make up a new fucking setting? But the problem is, I know why. I answered my own fucking question the moment I said that. Because we don't have the spectacle of it being Little Girl Hitler if we just do the right thing and make up a completely new setting. Then we don't have anything but our own mediocre writing. So, now we're doing this, which, again, isn't very good for what it is, even if we've done this shit like a million fucking different times. This isn't really a new and shocking sort of concept. It's been done a billion times. Of course, the overzealous army wants to prolong the war in China and expand north into the Union of Slovia, after all. Well, that's gonna go well initially, but very, very poorly later. The pro-army government signed a lot of agreements and pacts, trying to get closer to Adolf Hitler. Finally, with the signing of the anti-Zamitern Pact, anti-Cat Girl Pact, we entered into better relations with the Axel Powers. Axel Powers? Axial powers would probably be a little bit better and not inspire an immediate cheap joke, but okay. Hold on a minute. Axel powers, anti-Zaminturn pact, Zima, Exoterms, the anti-cat girl pact. Hang on, it's gonna get technical. Please, please shove a bunch of terms in here that you edited 3 or 4 like 1 to 3 letters in. Oh, sweet mother of Christ, everyone's declaring war on everybody. Making a lot of hand gestures, my uncle desperately tries to explain the complicated global situation. Okay, so, France literally has a cock on their flag. The English have a bow tie. Interesting. Okay, right, right. America has literally hamburgers 4 stars. That's pretty fucking radical. It's not as fucking radical as Santa Destroy and No More Heroes, but that's pretty fucking radical. I'm gonna allow that. Alright, okay, right, man, everybody, there's a fucking teddy bear on the Soviet flag, and apparently they're the cult of Sailor Moon by the use of the moon. Jesus fucking Christ. Now I feel better about the Voshko-Destian symbol. I feel better every single day. I feel like that's a very good made-up symbol. This is clearly a comedy, but Jesus H fucking Christ. The Italians also have a bird on their flag and a Tootsie Roll by the looks of it. Sphere of influence, yeah, just as a warning, the 2 big girls with the Soviets may seem familiar. Familiar, you say? Interesting. Pact of aluminum. Okay. This is a mess of made-up flags, but okay, fine. The Axel Alliance is a grouping of Jesus fucking Christ. Please try harder. Fascist countries in Europa, primarily composed of Germania and Vitalia. That's probably stolen from something. The Anti-Catgirl Pact is an anti-Catgirl, or an anti-Catgirl, anti-Soviet, and anti-Maoist pact we signed along with those nations. Sure. So the Vastus Axel, it sounds like I'm talking with a fucking slur more than usual. The Vastus Axel Alliance are on bad terms with the Union of Slovia, like us. It's like I'm slurring intermittently when I'm trying to say historical facts. Nope. Look, at the present rate, we're likely not going to get to the end point of the demo. Well, hey, Goon, drinking may improve. Oh, Jesus Christ. The Axel also exists in opposition to the alliance powers of Britannia, Franzo, and supported by the United America. What? We are living in America! America is wonderful. Jesus fucking Christ, please try harder. Make up something esoteric that's actually American. Fuck! That's a lot to process in a few sentences. Yeah, that's a lot of stupid to unpack here. Vinland? Yeah, Vinland! Vinland's more fucking original! You're talking about California, basically, but Vinland. Tell us more about how Vinland man bad. Now we're on friendly terms with Germania, both politically and economically. At least that's the theory. Theory? What do you mean? The Empress sighs and seems to look past me into the middle distance. The middle distance. It turns out that Adolf Hitler isn't as anti-Zioninist as we first thought. Actually, yeah, he kind of was, but it wasn't really kind of a... I'm not exactly sure if he actually hated the communists that much, but the non-aggression pact was literally, hey guys, we're gonna declare war on you, but can we do this like 5 minutes, 5 minutes after we're finished killing everyone else? Yeah, sure, thanks. Stalin just basically, yeah, sure. Stalin just went, yeah, sure, bro, whatever. And then proceeded to shoot all of his officers. It was announced a few days ago that Germania had signed a non-assault pact with the Yugoslavia. Literally just, hey, Stalin, can we do, we're gonna fight, but can we do this later? Stalin answers, yeah, sure, bro, and then proceeds to purge his army. Hitler absolutely hated the commies. Good to know. Wasn't exactly sure about that, but I know the non-aggression pact between Germany and Russia was literally just buying time for an inevitable clash of their governments. But it was all fun and games while they were splitting up Poland. The agreement is basically a truce, or a temporary alliance between Adolf Hitler and Isofina Stalin. Well, instead of butchering that, you could have called her Isofina Zvezda or something like that. Come on, try harder. Isofina, that's the communist. I'm just gonna call, yeah, right, communists. Dictator of the Union of Slovia, the communist superpower. Communism, like we're a fucking Spurto. Britannia and Franzo are reeling in shock. Pollux is left out in the cold, and United America is pretty set up too. They're pretty upset too. Yisofina. No, Isofina. No. It would be Isofina because it's Isov Stalin. That's why the IS is IS. That's why the IS tanks are IS. It's written as Isov Stalin. The National Assault not National Assault Pack. The National Assault Weapons Ban has completely changed the balance of world power, particularly in Europa. Yeah, aside from it's only gonna last like less than 5 years. It's a slap in the face for us too. Adolf Hitler really ticked me off. My dyslexia is really bad today. Really ticked me off this time, stuck up little brat. This pact has hurt our honor, and Zapengu looks stupid now. We've completely lost face over this pro-communist betrayal. Oh. Okay, hang on. Yes?
It's Yosef, you uncultured fuck! They're just using the Russian spelling!
Alright, then why the fuck is there an I in IS?
The Russian spelling of it, you idiot!
Sorry, I got used to doing that! Anyway, moving on. Yes, we're talking more about communism. The Empress grumbles under her breath over the politics of the situation. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be giggling like that to myself for a bit. I'm totally disillusioned with Europa. Who do these Germanians think they are? After we were so nice to them, too. Lady, it's gonna last all of a handful of years after, everyone starts shooting at each other, which is gonna happen rather quickly. I'm done with them. I told Prime Minister Abe to change up our foreign policy in the future. There's that name again. That name again that's really kind of, unfortunate due to current events. So it's completely soured Zapengu's foreign relations, then we're not going to seek an alliance? Despite this, there are still pro-army forces in the government who think a full alliance with Germania is the right way to go. Right-wing zealots and fascists. They're simply mad militarists, intent on waging endless wars in Oriental Asia? I'm calling it the fucking Orient. I don't care how problematic that is to say. I'm calling it the fucking Orient. Huh? I'm sure they're not all zealots. The ultra-nationalist right have taken control of the Zepangese army and led this country to the brink of a disaster. My uncle shows a passionate honesty I've never seen before. He's really speaking his mind for once. Well, unfortunately, Uncle, you're going to be shot down by a surprise P-38, and then those morons you're talking about are going to send the Yamato to its own funeral. Sorry, no, I was wrong. It's not Russian, it's the Georgian way of pronouncing. Yeah, sure. The war in China is a disgrace. It was a dumb, illegal expansion in the first place, and it's made us look like fools. But no, sir, we need to expand because the U.S. turned off our oil. They turned the tap off. We need to actually expand, or we're gonna fucking collapse. So we need that land. Everything's fine though. Just expand and we'll be totally fine. This is why my uncle was so concerned about my record. Was he sounding me out to see where my loyalties were? I'm surprised he feels he can speak so openly with the royal family like this too. Saying things like that is why there are threats on your life. Uncle, is that true? You've been receiving death threats from the army? We had no choice but to promote him to Commander-in-Chief of the Combo Fleet just to get him out of the country. Yes, he's going to Evo this year, I hear. That explains the personal protection detail, too. Those army's trucks full of soldiers, is he being watched by the military? Like I was saying, some in the army want to ally with Germania regardless of the recent non-assault pact. Others, like Yamamoto, detest the idea of a Germanian alliance, worried that it might start a war with Britannia or Franzo. And also, why do we call it a non-assault pact? Can we just call it a non-aggression pact? There's nothing really... We know what you're doing! You're not gonna get sued for saying non-aggression pact. You'll probably sound smarter like that. And inevitably, though they are neutral, it might draw in... Though they are neutral, it might draw in United America since they're friendly towards the Alliance. Or you could all do something immensely fucking stupid and shoot America first. You know, the country that was actually kind of on the fence there, where there was a big movement against actually joining, and it was kind of 50-50, all the way up to Pearl Harbor, to which point everyone went, that's it, flip the table, and suddenly we're in the war. Everything has to be the Kirkland version of itself, clearly. Kirkland best World War II. Great value conflicts. The Army's desire for friendship with Germania will push us into a war we simply cannot win. Our Navy isn't ready for it. A war with Britannia and United America could be the end of the Japanese Empire, or so I hear. Whatever. And that's why your life is under threat? Prime Minister Abe is of the same mindset. He wants neutrality in Europa and an end to the war in China. Even the Japanese Prime Minister wants to end the war? And Empress, Your Highness, what do you think? I officially have no opinion. I'm meant to be above the fray of politics, a figurehead. The Empress makes air quotes as she says that. But right now, I see no reason to ally with someone dishonorable like Adolf Hitler, not after she was so rude and made us look like total losers. Screw that dumb dictator. So the Army and Navy can fight it out. So she does get involved in politics after all. Yeah, she kind of runs the fucking country. He wants Japan to get back to making kids. Yes, we're trying... This, unfortunately, also will not raise the birth rate. I see, I didn't know any of that. You really should learn to read the newspapers and keep up with current affairs. I know. Oh, are you being flippant with me? That's treasonous behavior, you know. Maybe I should punish you. That's not what I meant, forgive me! I sputter in panic as I try to defend myself. It's just that, well, you know... Dear Kami-sama, please don't let me get my head cut off today. Okay, everything's fine in English until we actually have to say something that sounds Japanese, and then we sound cooler for saying God in Japanese. You're cute when you're flustered. Eh? Cute? That face you pull... That face you pull more than makes up for it. You are forgiven. Yes, you are entertaining. She's teasing me. The Empress is actually teasing me. This situation isn't good for my heart. Relax, try not to injure yourself. Yes, Your Majesty. My uncle looks on nervously. I'm guessing he's received similar teasing from the Empress before. Well, I think I get it now. But there's one thing I don't understand. Why can't you both just do something? You have the Prime Minister and the Empress both agreeing on something. Surely that's it. The two most powerful individuals in Japan can put a stop to the matter. No alliance with Germania, and end to the war. It doesn't work like that. Not in this country, anyway. What? Really? You can't just take charge? Idiot. I meant to be a figurehead, remember? I'm only allowed to frown or nod. That's about it. I don't know how true that is, though. Prime Minister Abe will try his hardest to push through his policies, but much of the government is weak and divided. And the army is very powerful. Even if they were commanded to retreat, they would simply dig in and fight on. Just like they have done 1,000 times before. We need to undermine the army's influence across the empire, little by little, until they lose control. And preventing an alliance with Germania is one way to achieve this? My, maybe you're not so slow after all. The truth is, we need some kind of insurance policy. We need to control the situation before anything else happens. Then, this meeting is some kind of conspiracy between my uncle and the Empress? Even if I have no official power, I'm happy to let... I'm gonna try again. Gojuroku. Right. I'm trying again. Words. Complicated Japanese names. And Abe do things like this. And this is a chance for the Empress to go over the heads of the army, to give the Navy the upper hand. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, I have no official involvement. So, to cut a long story short, why am I here? What is this conspiracy? The plan, this mission. Uncle Yamamoto pulls out a file and starts flicking through it. We're in a lucky position. A very unique opportunity has presented itself. That's why we need you. It seems your record has attracted the attention of the Germanian ambassador, Eugene Ott. Germanian ambassador? You mean a foreign military attaché here in Edo? German. Yes. It seems Germania has been looking for an adept commander to advise on some military issues. Only last week, a telegram was sent to my desk asking that we seek out our best and our brightest. And, well, you were recommended, so I wanted to see for myself what the fuss was about. I'm sorry, I'm still quite confused. Why would the Germanian ambassador be requesting a Japanese soldier to advise? When it comes to military matters, surely Germanians don't need any outside help. I'm afraid we don't really know why. Maybe nobody suitable was available? Anyway, this is the strange part. The dictator Adolf Hitler mentioned your name personally. Why? What's going on here? Huh? Seriously? A letter was sent through Ambassador Ott here in Edo, expressing her desire to meet with you. The dictator of Germania wants to meet me. Probably all those rumors about a handsome Japanese hero battling in China. Okay, this is kind of the anime silliness that I was expecting, but Jesus H fucking Christ. Michael says that and gives me a knowing wink. They probably think that having an outsider advising might give them a fresh perspective, or you're playing directly into their fucking hands, guys! Boy, you two are stupid, aren't you? Here we are trying to break up a potential alliance between Japan and Germany, and here we have the Germans trying to ensure that alliance by requesting me go there. Boy, for some people who are master crafty politicians and monarchs here, you guys really have fallen for a pretty easy trap here. But okay, fine, yeah, sure. Tell me more about how I'm going to wind up being a political hostage to ensure that the alliance actually happens, and thus both countries are dragged through the mud. That's why I'm here now. Why would the dictator of Germania ask someone for someone like me? I'm just a normal soldier after all. I'm afraid I don't know much. Believe me, I was surprised myself to hear it from you. Naitai bites her lip in frustration. But Gojuroku convinced me to give you a shot and have you brought home from the battlefield. And that's why I was brought home early, too. But compared to other soldiers, I'm small fry. There are a few exaggerated rumors about my victories, but nothing more. But you see, nephew, this is exactly why you're perfect for our plan. Huh? Your plan? Consider it outsourcing. You've been transferred to a high division of the Germanian military. What? Transferred? You mean as a part of a military attaché? No, it's a little bit more complex than that. You'll be operating within the highest echelons of the General Staff. Okay. General Staff. That's probably the general staff of the Germanian military. It's kind of like an exchange program. You'll be an exchange soldier working under the dictator herself. But why me? I whispered those words, but it seems to be futile. This situation has caught me completely off guard. Don't worry. You're not being abandoned or simply transferred over. There's actually a catch. What kind of catch? You're going to spy for us. Spy? Like espionage? A secret agent? Or a ninja? There's no way. It's funny, for a moment there, it sounded like you said I was going to be a spy on the dictator of Germania. Exactly. you're our insurance policy. This can be our way of controlling foreign relations in Germania. Seriously? You want me to be a spy? This way, we can also use you to get back at Adolf Hitler for showing us up like that. Hey guys, remember that TNO starts with a Japanese assassin hired by Himmler to attempt to assassinate Hitler? He fails, but... Ha! This woman really doesn't let things go. We need someone we can trust inside Germania's inner circle. You can be our man in Alt-Berlin! Alt-Berlin! Guys, even I came up with something ridiculous like fucking, ridiculous and somewhat original sounding like Eingart for my not fucking Germany. Alt-Berlin! What? Are we gonna go across the Atlantic Ocean to the United America, and we're gonna have a nice sit down with the president in different Washington? What about we swing back to England and we go sit down for tea and crumpets with the Queen at Variant London. Come on, what else we got here? We can make this. We can run with this. We're not even out of the demo section. Nope. This is gonna be kind of actually really silly and really dumb. What about the embassy? Don't you have people already in place? Yes, you probably would be using the people at the embassy if you wanted to do espionage like that. Because you know you would actually have diplomats that generally meet routinely with high-level officials and ask around. Our embassy in Alt-Berlin is part of a pro-army faction, and they refuse to obey orders or report accurately. So you should have them all shot. Not to mention, our current ambassador, Oshima, is pretty much Adolf Hitler's lapdog. We desperately need to take control and restore Japan's honor. We need you to do this for us, warrant officer. We want you to spy on Adolf Hitler and her goons, discover what their intentions are, and send back information. Well, their intentions are to declare war on literally fucking everyone. It's pretty... I'm sure we don't know this currently, but it's gonna be pretty easy to find that out. Hang on, what if I'm caught or get exposed? I don't know anything about being a spy. I'm sure you'll pick it up in no time. Most countries hang spies when they're discovered. This is crazy. I can't do something like this. You'll go to Alt-Berlin, work as an advisor for the Germanian High Command, and we'll get some dunce in return. We need to control the situation from beginning to end, and when the time is right, we'll give you your final orders. What do you mean by that, give me my final orders? My uncle and the Empress exchanged glasses. In a worst-case scenario, it's a worst-case scenario, but if required, we need a dedicated soldier to do what's best for Japan's honor. Okay. Huh? What do you say? An experienced recruit from the ranks of the army who fights hard, a hero who doesn't want to be recognized as such. Someone who knows war isn't a game, but still hopes to fight with honor and decency. Your country needs you, lad. The Navy needs you. Your Empress needs you. I need you. We all do. Okay, so if Hitler was going to do something that incriminates Japan, I am to off Adolf Hitler, but you see, the problem is that that's completely irrelevant. You morons are going to do something that screws all of this up by attacking America of your own accord. This is all very confusing, but this is top secret, so discretion must be important. Also, this decision would mostly be the Navy's doing, because it was the Navy doing literally fucking everything. I don't know what to think anymore. Think about this. Just remember all those soldiers still on the front lines, Yamato. Your compatriots, your countrymen, still fighting and dying, bogged down in a pointless quagmire of a war. That's right. If I help my uncle damage your reputation of the army faction with useful intel, it could really help my comrades. We could all go home. It might just end the war in China and prevent a war with United America and Britannia. Flying Tigers are already out there, if I remember correctly, so this is already fucking happening. But Spying, espionage. I don't know anything about fighting a war like that. This is an opportunity we can't pass up. I'm sorry, nephew, but if it can save this country from the ultra-nationalists, it has to be done. Unfortunately, it won't happen. But go on. My uncle has a determined glint in his eye. He really believes in this mission. Desperately, I turned to the Empress for help. Please, Your Highness, I need you to reconsider. I don't know how to be a spy. I'm a good soldier, but I'm not a spy. Sorry, the details have already all been arranged. You will ship out to Europa in the morning. The fact that Germanians seem to like you, and we're going to take advantage of that. The fact is, the Germanians seem to like you, and we're going to take advantage of that. So I don't get a say in this at all? Oh. Would you turn down a personal request from the Empress herself? I mean, I kind of like to choose the way I'm going to get shot, but unable to argue back, I simply accept my fate. Good. Although, if anyone asks, I didn't request anything. I'm only meant to be a figurehead. It's all just a spectator sport to her, isn't it? Thank you. Yamato, my boy. Yamato, my boy. Yimini yams motto, my boy. I say, your country will owe you a great debt of service. So, just to confirm. Geez, do you really need it spelled out so much? My hands are tied on this one. There's nothing that can be done. Please, for my sake. What a selfish man. You know that the Empress isn't meant to involve herself in decision-making. Very well. By order of Imperial decree, we hereby discharge this man before us from his regular duty. To preserve the honor of the Empire, Officer Yamato of the based fucking depot, based Japan, yes, will be transported to Europa. Taking into account the recent troubles between the empires of Japan and Germany. As of this moment, you are Commander Yamato, exchange soldier, and advisor to the Fubar. To the Fubar. Okay. The Fubar, Adolf Hitler of Germany. Right, the Fubar. Yes. Yes. Heil Fubar. Heil mein Fubar. Yes. Okay, that was kind of clever, but still, Jesus Christ. Continue to work with respect and spy on I'll spy on the Germans for your uncle and your country. Yes, I understand. Uncle, I will do as you command. I bow my head and remain like that for a few moments. You got that? The way she speaks and demands things, she really is an empress. Yes, Empress, well, my uncle wants me to spy on the Germanians. Though I really have no experience of spycraft or duplicity in this way. This is going to be a dangerous and tricky assignment. Very good, that will be all. Your country owes you a great debt, nephew. I hold my bow, and with that, my summons is at an end. Following our meeting, the servants re-emerge and lead me out of the palace to my taxi. As we walk through the pristine halls, I soak in the last of this strange occasion. This is going to be a silly thing. Meanwhile, in Old Berlin, in the offices of the Imperium Stag, the Fubar meets with her advisors, Imperium Stag. Okay. Oh, sweet mother of Christ. Goebbels is an anime girl, too. They made Goebbels an anime girl, too. Oh, sweet mother of Christ. Goebbels is an anime girl. She looks like fucking Jack the Ripper from Fate. Jesus fucking Christ. Goebbels is an anime girl. Yep. Is Himmler an anime girl? Is the cockroach an anime girl? I bet he is. We've just received a telegram from the embassy of Japan. The exchange program is going ahead. Yamamoto has agreed to take the job. So, he's finally on his way. Goring is also an anime girl! Goring, arrange a private plane for his journey. Make sure he lands in Oberlin safely. Once he arrives, guide his procession so that he doesn't see anything he shouldn't. Tidy up the streets, too. Yes, dear lady, Goring is an anime girl, too. Where's Himmler? Garbles, arrange a victory rally to celebrate Commander Yamamoto's arrival. Yes, dear leader. Where's Donitz? I ordered all three of you to meet me here. Where the fuck is Donitz? He's in Crimea, staying out of everything. I think he's still asleep. I think she's still asleep. Donitz is an animator. At this hour, someone go and force her out of bed. We have a lot to prepare. And very little time to do it in. The others go and attend to their duties, leaving the dictator alone with her thoughts. Commander Yamamoto, the hero of Tango. I've been waiting for you. And so, the leaders of Germania get ready for their new advisor to arrive. It made not only Hitler, but basically everyone an anime girl. Again, where is anime girl Himmler? Where is anime girl Himmler? I want to see anime girl Himmler. I don't want to see it, but I know it's coming. We might actually, maybe if we can go the Himmler route, we can make something stupid happen. Like, I don't know, Burgundy. After a secret meeting with the Empress, my uncle gave me a full briefing on the situation. My mission will involve going deep undercover and gathering enough information to confirm Germania's intentions. Details of locations, times, individuals I should make contact with, there's a lot to learn. Most of all, my uncle warned me to be careful and to keep my wits about me. Germania is a fascist dictatorship with an unstable economy and fanatical terrorized population. If I'm discovered or revealed to be a spy by the leadership, I'll be made to disappear. It's not a pleasant thought, but this is my situation, and I'm used to danger by now. My uncle gave me this secret envelope to open only in case of an emergency. I'm not sure what that emergency might be, but I'll make sure to keep it safe. Along with that, I have the code name for my mission. Green Pheasant. Green Pheasant? What are we doing? Fucking Rainbow Code now? I'm the Green Pheasant, a Japanese spy. Sounds kind of cool, right? Later that day, I returned to the barracks to pack my belongings. However, since I'd been in hospital until this morning, I already had a full suitcase ready to go. With nothing to do with the rest of the afternoon, I decided to go wandering around the capital. I've been to inns, bars, market stalls, food fairs, shrines, banks, stations, pachinko parlors, school festivals. I wanted to breathe in the last of the Oriental air before I arrived on a new continent. Ah, yes, Oriental air. The world I know, I may not see it again in my lifetime. I haven't even left yet, but a part of me is already homesick for my country. If the street wasn't so dirty, I'd get down on my knees and kiss the ground. Perhaps I should get on a tram out to the countryside and do it there. Still, I honestly feel I don't know that much about the outside world. My education hasn't really prepared me for it. Having lived in the Orient all my life on a military career path, I have never actually met a foreigner from another continent. Europa and America are just abstract terms in my mind, fantasy lands with fantasy people. It's strange. In some way, I have always wanted to travel, but I guess I've never had the opportunity, says the guy who was just shipped to China and killing people over there. He signed up for the military, clearly the right path here. Now is my chance to really see the world and make a difference too. While I ponder these useless thoughts, I notice the clapping sound of boots on dirt. A familiar soldier comes running up to me. It's one of my division's corporals. Or at least, one of my former juniors. I'm no longer a commander for his unit, so I suppose I can't say I'm his leader. From what I remember, he's a bit of a useless man, and I always had to pay attention to him. Our unit seemed to operate a lot like a high school sports team. Seniors would look after their juniors and work hard together. We had a pretty dumb relationship that way. Boss man, is it true what the men have been saying? Are you really shipping out to Europa tomorrow? I'm afraid it's true, and please don't call me boss man. Unfortunately, it means it means the juniors have a habit of relying on their seniors most of the time. Despite being younger than most of these men, I still get asked for advice with basic things. Cleaning triggers, loading and unloading, target practice. The soldier in front of me looks a sight. Dirty boots, an untucked shirt, the top buttons of his uniform undone. With snot dribbling down his lips, he seems to heave as he breathes in and out. Damn it, how could they do this to you? You're one of the greatest leaders this army has ever had. I don't know about that. I'm just a good fighter, that's all. It's a punishment. It must be. But don't worry, boss man. We're gonna fight for you. Please don't. It's more of a diplomatic move than anything else. It's to help the Empress and the Empire. Empress? What Empress? Ah, never mind. I don't think people would believe me if I told them their country was run by a woman. Again, oh, so we're gonna slide back into that. We're gonna slide back into it's all a fucking game here, and we're intentionally supposed to not know. Again, this is seeming like King Arthur is a woman, but done very poorly. It was a personal request from the palace. Oh, you mean our Empress? You actually met the Empress of... that Empress? Actually, no, never mind, you know. Huh? You mean you know about her? That's amazing. I never known anyone that's actually met her. I mean, the guys have pictures up in the barracks. They have pictures? Tosame's what? I'm sorry, are those words, Corporal? Are those words? You got to meet such a stunning hottie. Again, this doesn't make any sense. Yeah, sure, I'm an idiot, but how would you know? You would know. If Japan was run by an empress in this time period, you would fucking know it's a woman. This doesn't even make sense from a comedy standpoint. It's like they tried to force that whole fucking thing to, like... It's like they wanted that scene. They desperately wanted that scene for the comedic comedy and whatnot, and now they're trying to backpedal really poorly. Hang on, you're telling me you knew that the Emperor was actually an empress? What are you talking about, boss man? What hot-blooded Japanese man doesn't know the Empress? Okay, now how did Moron not know? She's one of the most beautiful and graceful public leaders this country has ever known. Again, this makes sense, but what? On second thought, perhaps perhaps I'm the unobservant one. I should start listening to the radio, or listening to any of the oaths you might be taking. I'd die for a girl like that, one that takes care of the business while I stay at home under the katatsu. Huh? What nonsense are you saying now? Well, once I finish in the army, it's my aspiration to become a house husband. What? Looking after the kids and being lazy, it's my dream. You should have higher aspirations than that. I really did fail you. Out of nowhere, my former junior begins to tear up. Placing his hand on my shoulder, he squeezes tightly and begins to blubber. Ow, hey, that's my wounded shoulder. Ow, ow, boss man, I'll never forget you. You were the best commander I've ever had. I believe in you. You're exaggerating. I'm sorry, what was your name again? I've completely forgotten. Takashi, sure. Of course it's something ridiculous like that. So we're supposed to, of course it's something that fucking easy to pick out. Is that all? That's my full name. Well, anyway, thank you for your kind words, Takashi. I'll round up the men and we'll throw you a big party. We're not gonna let the boss man leave Japan sober. Now, wait a minute. I'm not sure that's... But before I could say anything, Takashi has run off to organize a leaving party. Honestly, what an unreliable junior. I suppose I won't have much to do. I won't have much time left to wander. I guess I should draft some letters home. I'll let my relatives know I won't be coming back to marry the neighbor girl. What a shame. The childhood friend doesn't get wiped up. What a shame. Right now, growing rice in the countryside for the rest of my life doesn't sound like a bad option. On the other hand, I'll still be fighting, a bit in a foreign land where I can't speak the language. I'll be spying on one of the most mysterious leaders in the world. Something like that doesn't happen every day. I should consider this some kind of opportunity, a very dangerous one. Right, here goes nothing. I try to cheer myself up as I go to buy stationery. Meanwhile, just around the corner, outside the Germanian embassy, a shifty-looking character speaks quietly into a public payphone, keeping his voice low as he mutters, "Sorge! I confirmed it with the ambassador Ott as well. Zorge, a spy for the Soviet government, keeps his handlers up to date on the latest information of Edo. Guys, what the fuck is subtlety here? No, the Germanians don't suspect a thing. I've infiltrated the embassy with total ease. I see. And about this exchange program, do you have a name yet? Ah, comrade. The new commander's name is Yamato Yamamoto, a regular soldier. Ah, this is correct. The Soviets know about the exchange program? What else do they know about the situation? Why are you asking these questions completely out of fucking nowhere? Who is asking these questions? The narrator? Why is the narrator asking these questions? The narrator fucking knows because he's reading the fucking story. He's clearly the person who wrote the fucking story. Our character is outside the frame of reference here, so it's not our character questioning things. Why would you do this? No, man, it's the Pokemon narrator. He's only along for the ride. Right, yeah, it's the disembodied voice. Yeah, right, I just watched him running errands. He doesn't seem special in any way. He doesn't seem special in any kind. Kind of bland, actually. I wonder what the Fubar is doing, hiring a Japanese butler. I'm not certain, though I don't think he's a butler exactly. Possibly a spy, though no confirmation yet. Hello? Are you still there, comrade? You were just using Russian beforehand. What's with this? For the moment, continue as you are. We'll handle the rest from our end. That the handler hangs up the phone, and the long-distance connection is lost. Did I say something strange? No, I'm sure it's all fine. Soviet spy, still keeping his wits about him, slowly makes his way back inside the embassy building. See, that was totally unnecessary to have the out-of-character prose there. Even what the characters were saying totally tipped off what the fuck was going on. I didn't need the narrator to tell me what the fuck is going on. Show don't tell, motherfucker. You did both like a moron. That night, I drank my own weight in sake and beer. Very fucking tempted. I myself am very tempted to drink myself under the table. Later, though, lots to do. I'm not really certain what happened, but I have a recollection of Takashi crying on my shoulders. Following that, I blacked out. Must have had delirium mixed in with all of that. Later that week, over Germanian airspace, the next morning, I shipped out from Japan, bound for my secret mission in Europa. Traveling by ferry across China, I boarded a plane at Shenzhanga. Tango. From there, the flight passed out of China, over the mountains, and into the heartland of the Orient. Crossed over the borders of new lands and territories I've never seen before. Grasslands and forests, hills and valleys and deserts. New regions with strange customs and simple locals. A world I've never known and probably will never get to know. After stopping over in an arid nation to refuel, the plane eventually took off again. A few stops later, we entered European airspace. It's pretty much been non-stop travel. I tried to sleep through most of the journey after that night's activities, the night before departure. I'm not much of a drinker as it happens, waking up the next morning with a pounding headache, a dry mouth, and dry mouth was not a pleasant experience. The debagging ceremony in the barracks was an ordeal as well. Awakening from a particularly long nap, I've been informed we're flying over Germania and will land within the hour. Yes, just kind of fucking just scribble Europe. I guess Italy's a penis now, really? That's what it kind of looks like. France is fucking huge in comparison to Spain. Spain is just incredibly fucking tiny. England is in fragments. Scotland and Ireland are connected. That might cause some political upheaval. I don't know what the fuck's going on over here. Aside from the Black Sea is quite larger. I don't know, it looks like someone drew a map of Europe in like 3 seconds. Germania, the central nation of Europa. This map really isn't any good. It doesn't show borders or terrain or names or anything significant other than outlines. I should have opted for a more detailed version, though I didn't have much time to prepare for this trip. Maybe I should just look out the window instead. Peering through the thin pane of glass to my left, I see luscious green woodlands for miles around. Arable countryside eventually gives way to small hamlets and towns, paved in cobbled stones. Narrow winding streets and pokey buildings give the country an atmosphere of being, well, western. Horses and carts pass over dirt lanes through wheat fields. Smoke rises from chimneys and brick cottages and taverns. It's all rather fetching in its own way. After much high-altitude sightseeing, we finally land at our destination, Dimpelhof Airport in Alt-Berlin. Yeah, okay. When I first try to get up, I find my legs have fallen asleep. I was warned by Takashi that your limbs can turn to jelly when you fly. Although I think it's probably exaggerated. Stretching it off, I stand out of my seat and collect my luggage. Exiting the plane, I head through a terminal building at the airfield and outside. The busy entrance is bustling with vehicles and civilians going about their business. I keep an eye out for any sign of a welcome party, but none presents itself. That's weird. Uncle Yamamoto said there would be some kind of delegation to welcome me. Shrugging it off, I hail a taxi. It's probably just a short ride to the capital city from the airport anyway. 10 minutes later. Well, here I am. After an extremely long journey, at a lot of fraught nerves, I've arrived in Europa, the western continent. This is the capital city of the centrally located nation of Germania, Alt-Berlin, the center of the fascist dictatorship. Alt-Berlin is a city to the east of the country and was founded many centuries ago along a riverbank. What's the name of the river, guys? The Pine? At least that's what I read in the Air Sports Free Travel magazine. I take a moment to absorb the city around me. The center of the metropolis seems to have a lot of newly built classical architecture. Yes, new classics. Automobiles, a rarity in Japan, pass along the cobbled lanes beside trams, carriages, lorries, and bicycles. Red banners line the sides of buildings and buses and hang from street lamps bearing symbols and slogans. What's with that symbol? Sword in the white circle on red? Yeah, sure. It looks like some kind of cultish medieval icon, like something from the Knights Templar. Yeah, you say that one. You say that just kind of make up for the fact that you didn't have the balls to put a swastika there, even though everyone knows what the fuck is going on. Nappy party? Nappy-headed anime girl? Boy, howdy. I suppose that's the flag of Germania and the ruling Nappy Party. Yeah, okay, the nap time party. I soon lose track of how many monuments and national sites I cross. Alt-Berlin sure has a lot of history. So this is the Germanian capital, or the tourist area anyway. For such a dangerous dictatorship, it actually seems quite normal, though initial looks can be deceiving. Yes, we haven't talked about the men we're sending, all those people and cat girls that we're sending to the camps. My uncle told me to be on my guard. Let's not make a couple of nice buildings or smiles stop that. Sure enough, within moments, uniformed soldiers stroll past on the main street, shoving citizens out of their way. Wearing high boots, fashionable overcoats, and goose-stepping in a quick march, it makes for a bit of a silly display. The armband-wearing brutes salute the shopkeepers and business owners who fearfully raise their arms to them. That's right. Hey, you, out of the way, unless you want my boot in your back. The open display of militarism isn't much different from back home in Japan, though it has a different feeling. In some quarters, there's evidence of damage to businesses with smashed-in windows and shuttered shops. There's a strange, marshaled feeling amongst the populace. These are a people ready for war. Looking about me, I find myself completely alone. No guide or officer or anybody to greet me. Where did you tell the taxi driver to fucking take you? I guess I'm on my own here. I was sent a telegram with the address that I'm supposed to arrive at sometime soon. Pulling it out of my pocket, I glance it over. Imperium Stag. Fubar Drive, Old Berlin. 123. Yeah, sure. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, effort. I assume it's some kind of military barracks, but I don't really know where to begin or how to find it. I get a lot of dirty looks as I wander about. Without a native guiding me, I'll be very lost. Foreigners surround me, walking past on the street, going into shops. The language is more guttural, harder to understand. I learned a little Germanian when I was in high school, but learning a language and speaking it are very different things. Not sure what to do, I decide to approach a stranger. That guy. An important-looking man wearing a business suit passes by me, a newspaper folded under his arm. Excuse me, I was wondering if you could help me. What's this, a dirty foreigner? What do you want? Sorry to bother you, but do you know the way to this address? I hold out the note to him. Out of my way, you stinking Oriental. I can't be late. Today of all days. There's a rally on today. Clearly the HJ kid. Really? What's a rally? Learn to read, won't you? Taking the newspaper, he shoves it into my hands and storms off. What a culture shock. You didn't have to be so rude. I looked down at the newspaper in my hands. Death to our enemies, hail. Well, it looks like the Night of the Long Knives is happening here. There's some kind of right-wing tabloid, a platform for the ruling nappy party to make news and announcements. This is the Daily Hate Mail. Yes, now time for your 2 minutes of hate. The writers and journalists seem very paranoid and angry, spewing propaganda left, right, and center. Still, maybe there will be some useful information in one of these articles. You start to read the newspaper, trying to pick out a helpful article. The failed Britannian appeasement. Polacks are enemies of the East. Big crowds expected for glorious rally. I think we all know what's going on here. Let's move on. Some interesting information, but not much detail that helps me out. I should keep asking around. Honestly, I feel like this is a bit overloaded with things. Like, I'm sorry to say that, guys, I'm sure you put a lot of effort into your magical little parody alt history here, but, it's not that fucking interesting or well done. I'm gonna be blatantly honest, so the exposition is kind of a worthless thing. I feel like you guys probably should have put some effort into other things rather than writing heaps of exposition where you just basically read Wikipedia and edit a couple of fucking letters. What about the big crowds and how it's going to be the hugest, the best, no Germanian leader ever got so many people? Yes, it's gonna be great and fantastic and how it's world changing, and I really don't fucking care. I really don't care, because I know it's going to be the most, like, bland and just, like, functional exposition, I suppose, but it's just going to be the history, it's just going to be, actual history with some things changed, and it's not really all that interesting to read. It's kind of sad, really, honestly. It feels like there's a lot of work put into this. However, it's a lot of work put into weird fucking ways, and it's a lot of shovelware in terms of writing, honestly. But anyway, I try to approach someone else. A young boy in a scout's uniform strolls past me. Strolls past, full of glee. Wow, I can't believe it. She's going to be there. She's actually going to be there. Excuse me. My whole Hitura Scouts group is already at the rally. It's going to be amazing. Yes, Jojo. Go to the rally. Without staying to talk, the youth runs off. Yes, okay. Yes, the Hitler youth over there. Yeah, he's going off the rally, and then he's going to go off to summer camp, and hopefully he doesn't blow himself up with a grenade. The people here sure are rude. Maybe I should try to find it on my own. If I wander in a straight line, I could always trace my steps back here. Well, let's talk to the shopkeeper. I hope he's not Jewish. I found a shopkeeper nearby, greeting customers by his store. Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me what street I'm on? Bara. He speaks too quickly, and I struggle to understand a single thing he says. I'm sorry, never mind. Bara, tourist. Bara. Actually, you know what he's doing? He's sounding out the fucking Banjo-Kazooie, like, audio files that are, that play when people speak. Offended, the man turns his back on me and attends to other customers. Wow, okay. What about this man? Wow, Jesus. Hey, what are you looking at? Who? Me? Are you looking for trouble, foreign boy? We don't take kindly to your type around here. Not at all. I should get away before this turns ugly. I approach an obese man in lederhosen waddling nearby. Excuse me, sir. Out of the way. I'm in hurry. No, I don't think you're really hurrying anywhere at that pace. His big cheeks wobble profusely as he talks, and the words come out slurred. It's difficult to understand what he's saying. You don't seem to be in much of a hurry. Don't be so rude. I'll have you knowing that I am an athlete. The man wheezes as he slowly walks. Really? Which sport? Chess. I'm Germania's number 9 Grandmaster. Ah. I don't know how much help this man will be to me. Trying. He burps rather loudly in my face and scratches his behind. Full of beer and bratwurst, the stereotype slowly disappears in the nearby pie shop. Guys! Guys, if you're making jokes about your own writing in your writing, maybe you should rewrite your writing. Crazy, right? Jesus Christ. If you think it's stupid, maybe you should write something better. Fucking hell. Suspicious officer. I see a military officer with some kind of description, of some description, and approach him. With a shifty look about him, he tries to avoid eye contact with people as he moves down the street. Keeping a low profile, others barely notice him as he sneaks about. Excuse me. My question takes him by surprise. Can you help me? I don't think he was expecting anybody to approach him. The eagle-eyed, balding man stands up straight and glances at me with contempt. I don't have time to deal with foreign soldiers like you. Don't try to approach me again. Wow, this is the same fucking answer over and over again. I don't have time to answer any of your questions. I feel like these ask-around segments are literally worthless. The mysterious and rude officer disappears into the crowds, not looking back once. That was strange. Just what was he up to? Wait, Goon, what have we learned so far? All of these are fucking worthless and we should just basically press leave? But then again, I have to actually press all of these. Other than, the other thing we've learned in boating school is that it's Nazi Germany. Whenever you have the option to leave, leave. Basically, yeah, honestly. It's rather sad, because this is all exposition, and all, like, it's trying to be world building, but the problem is, the world's not that good, so it's not interesting to me. It might be interesting to some other people, but this is dull. Because it's just World War II with the name tags filed off. Actually, it's World War II with the name tags sorta filed off. It doesn't even have the effort to have them all the way filed off. It just changes a couple of letters. So this is really kind of exhaustingly boring. Like, I understand the creative, like, drive to make something, but this feels like it's a lot of effort for a concept that doesn't really have all that much effort put into it. It's like they took a simple concept and said, okay, we'll make it rock stupid simple, and then we'll put lots of details onto this rock stupid simple concept. The problem is, they failed to make that rock stupid simple concept hop above the bar to interesting, even just above it. And so they made a lot of detail for a concept that's really boring. But we'll see exactly what happens here, what the ultimate result of this is, because it really feels kind of dumb, honestly. The cringe aspect of the art style not being that great is one thing, but you can look past that if the writing's there, right? But what we're seeing here is the writing's not here either, which is... It's World War II, but the paper got wet, and the ink is running, right? Yeah, Also because you have no choice. Yes, I was forced at gunpoint for this, but Martin, you can see that this isn't really that great. Anyway, the last fucking person on the list. I'll try asking someone else. A young woman wanders nearby. No. Well, Martin, I see your master plan here, though. You're gonna make me want to read Katawa Shoujo because I will want to read a better visual novel after this, right? That's what the plan is, right? 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 Right. A young woman wanders nearby. Excuse me, ma'am, do you know where I might find the nearest military barracks? Military barracks? You understood me? More or less. Maybe I'm not that bad at speaking the language after all. Thank goodness. So, do you know where the nearest barracks are? I'm sorry, but I can't help you right now. I'm in a hurry. There's a rally going on at the Imperium stock. Imperium stock? I look over the note in my hands. Printed at the top in bold is the phrase Imperium stock, which is not really all that amazing of a concept here. I don't think I feel like this is trying to wave something in front of us like it's haha funny, but it's not really haha funny. It's the headquarters of the Fubar Adorfia Hitori. That. Why is it a Japanese name? I mean, Adorofia sounds European, right? But Hitora, that sounds Japanese. Why are they giving her a Japanese last name? But anyway, Fubar is actually kind of funny. I'll give you that one. But a lot of the stuff isn't. The Fubar. Yes, the Fubar. The Dictator of Germania, the person who I'm here to spy on. Wow, what a lucky break. I have this address you see, but I'm not sure how to get there. And it turns out that this Imperium stock is where I'm trying to get to. What are the chances? I show her the telegram. So can you tell me where it is? She glances over the paper once before handing it back to me. I don't have the time to tell you, but if you just follow the crowd, you should find it. I'm just going along to see what all the fuss is about. Without staying to talk longer, the woman hurries on ahead. Everyone seems excitable today. Something pretty important must be happening at the Imperium stock. Maybe I should investigate. It's where I need to report to, after all. I might as well find out what this rally thing is all about. But okay, yeah, so now I see. Right, so if I have the option to leave, I should just leave because this exposition is really kind of dull and uninteresting. And I should click the last option in these where it tells me I have to look. Confident about where to go, I start following strangers along the street. The crowd darts this way and that along busy roads and past enormous stone buildings. Buses and automobiles honk their horns as congestion builds. A flood of eager people fills the sidewalks, and all trying to overtake as we make our way to the Imperium stock. I begin to notice the sound of cheering, the noise of a large mob gathering and applauding something. What could that be? I'm not certain. Several characters that pass by are dressed in brown garb, wearing red armbands. They fashion small shorts and high white knee socks that stretch down into their boots. Hurry, hurry, I have to get there on time. The excited atmosphere among the townsfolk gets the blood pumping. I have to see for myself what the fuss is all about. Turning the corner, I make my way through the park and I'm astounded by what I find. The outlines of various anime girls and basically most of the people we've already seen. That's the shopkeep and some other guy. That's the old man from the hospital. That's the obese man. That's just that one guy that we see repeatedly in different outfits. The maid's probably back there somewhere. There's that guy, that same guy over there. These are probably the silhouettes of main characters that we haven't actually seen yet. Moving on. An enormous crowd is gathering outside, applauding loudly. It seems there's some kind of event going on. Huh, so this is what a Germanian rally is like. And that building must be the Imperium style. Although I remember hearing something about it burning down once. Everyone nervously waves miniature flags and homemade banners. Uniformed men and women with rifles create a barrier between the stage and the general public. Desperate chatter amongst strangers creates all sorts of gossip and rumors, as guards keep a close eye. Two-stepping soldiers push past civilians, clearing a way for a marching band and further soldiers. Hardcore supporters wear armbands and wave glow sticks around, dancing on the grass. Glow sticks?! Is Hitler fucking Hatsune Miku now? I'm pretty sure glow sticks didn't exist at this point, unless they're filled with fucking radium. Which, I don't think I'd want to handle a glow stick like that. Perhaps it's meant to be a concert of some kind? No, wait, that seems unlikely. What's with the glow sticks, though, guys? I've never seen anything on this scale before. Hitler was secretly Miku all along, you fool. Hitler gear. Back home, sometimes military parades would draw out a big crowd, but nothing quite like this. Hey, Coke bottle glasses. Eventually, a bespectacled girl in a uniform approaches the podium and begins to make an announcement. Oh, she's kind of an okay looker. Settle down, settle down. Hey, I said settle down, you cretins. She shrieks at the unruly crowd before clearing her throat and continuing. I bet she has very bizarre fetishes, though. That's probably a downside. Or maybe an upside, depending on who you are. Germanian men, Germanian women, Germanian boys, Germanian girls, Germanians everywhere. The death's head is a cat. I wouldn't be surprised. Before we begin the rally and listen to our great leader, we will all take the customary oath of allegiance. So the leader will be speaking here today. It's a rally for the dictator, Adolf Hitler. Ideal. Now, the oath is voluntary. We all know what that means, so let's begin. That means it's not voluntary, and anyone who doesn't take the oath will be thrown in the camps! The speaker makes a thinly veiled threat, and everyone seems to simmer down and fall into line. I don't think it's lost on anyone that hundreds of uniformed guards with guns line the perimeter. Why aren't her goofy glasses spinning black suns? You see, that would be entertaining and really kind of fun, if it's even if it's kind of offensive. But as you can see, the people who wrote this are really kind of dumb. You will all take an oath to a girl that really is rather amazing, gorgeous, and absolutely fabulous. A girl who is above the influence of pathetic earthly powers, above silly boys or scam artists. She's the leader of the Germanian people and guides Germania's warrior's fate as best as a woman can. Yeah, seriously, get her some black sun fucking spectacles there. I wear the Coke bottle glasses. This woman clearly needs black sun Coke bottle glasses. Fucking Nazi edition Coke bottle glasses. Führer Coke. Is this meant to be a positive speech? Maybe she's here to warm up the crowd, like a stand-up comic. Wow. Well, Miss Nazi girl, don't worry about his assertions for this game. I'm giving a bad, rather negative fucking views on his game though, so it's fine. Pull a chain. You're standing there, he's got a gun pointed to you, I've got a gun pointed at the back of his head. Through your oath, you bind yourselves to a girl who was sent to us by higher powers. Do not seek Adolf Hitler with your lewd mind. You will find her through the strength of your hearts. Yeah, okay then. I swear to God if this is actually Himmler. The crowd all reach towards the stage, crying for their leader, like she's some kind of movie star. Hitoria is Germania. Germania is Hitoria. She who takes an oath to Hitoria takes an oath to Germania. Swear to the great Germania, all Germanians everywhere, throughout the world. Altogether, the crowd begins to fanatically pledge their allegiance to the leader of Germania. As part of my mission, I try to blend in and quietly repeat the words. Hey, that woman over there didn't do the oath properly. She's just mouthing the words. What? No, I'm innocent. I didn't do anything. Juden! Gestapo officer. That's just a kid. It's a kid with glasses and a scar on his face. Right, that does it. We need to ask you a few routine questions. You're coming with us. Nearby, a woman in the crowd is pulled aside and simply disappears. That's weird. Wasn't someone standing there only a moment ago? Congratulations! One and all, I can really feel the buzz today. Your complimentary stickers will be waiting for you at the merchandise stand on your way out. Okay, there are some moments here, even though this is the I feel like this could have done without all of the world building and probably would have been better. Like, if it just played it straight like, yeah, guys, it's just World War II. It's World War II with different names, and not labored all of this shit so much, probably would have been a better experience. We also would have been here quicker. Yes, your golden stars will be at the merchandise stand on the way out. Anyone who puts one on is, well, you put on a star in Germany. The excited mood of the crowd is infectious, and I find myself becoming enraptured with the proceedings. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the great leader of Germania, the one and only, the almighty, all-powerful, all-gorgeous foobar, Adolf Hitler. And now it's springtime for Germany. Riotous, forced cheering erupts around the square as people shove each other to get a glimpse ahead. A figure emerges out of the Imperium stock and climbs the stage slowly. I push back at the people in the crowd as I try to look for myself. Then I see her, the infamous Dictator, the one I've been sent here to spy on. You know, I kind of like the announcer girl a little bit better in terms of design. She's kind of bland. Put her back on the stage. A pretty girl with jet black hair stands at the podium, preparing to address the crowds. Accessorized by a puffy cap and a crimson armband, she wears a dark gray jacket tied with a ribbon sash. Her eyes, a velvety red. Moist velvety red? Are we talking about cakes now? Glanced out determinedly over the admiring mob beneath. The excited people stare up in awe. They gasp and scream and reach out towards her. Citizens of Germania, rejoice. This is a momentous day for me. I mean, for our people. Luring her into my Kubelwagen with amphetamine chocolates. Yeah, I'd go for that. flanked on either side by armed guards dressed in brown. It's almost as though she's a celebrity or music idol. Yes, we kind of saw that. We kind of saw the writer of this clearly can't honestly describe anything other than through the eyes of it's an idol. Jesus Christ. All of Alt Berlin. No, all of Germania is in celebration for a good reason, too. Several years ago today, the great national takeover took place, and I rose to become your beloved leader. Never mind the specifics of that takeover, it was rather quite an interesting thing, but no one will ever know. Quite a confusing time. So mighty was this revolution that our enemies still do not understand it. Those dummies. Revolution? She must be talking about that time the Nazi party came to power. Nappy. Nappy probably would have been a better idea, but nappy-headed anime girls again. It's not very funny, but it's funny to me. Other jealous nations criticize us. They speak of democracies and dictatorships. Well, they haven't realized that an astounding takeover has taken place in this country. The guards at either side of her maintain a blank expression as the packed masses make noise. In Germania, all stand equal, hand in hand, side by side. Well, some of us are equal anyway. There is now only one representative of Germania's sovereignty. We, the people, by which I mean me, Adolf Hitler. She speaks so wild and fluently. The power she has over the crowd is almost hypnotic. So this is Adolfia, the Führer of Germania. Leader of the Natural Socialite Party. Natural Socialite Party. Or Nappy Party for short. Natural Socialite Party. That's probably about as accurate to the Nazi Party anyway, because it definitely wasn't National Socialism. The odd thing is that this isn't actually even all that off from the Nazis' actual political philosophy. It's played up for kicks and the whole idol thing, but still, yeah, it is. Nazi Germany was a weird fucking place with a lot of retarded fucking things going on. Still, this is... We could try harder, guys. Several years ago, we were a weak and lowly nation. When I took power, there were more than 1 trillion unemployed. 1 trillion unemployed. Yeah, okay. It really was a disaster. So true. Believe me. Suddenly, I feel some kind of blinding flash, like a wave of paranoia washing through me. Huh? What was that? That dark sensation. That strange demonic power coming from that cute girl on the stage. She probably has like a black flame aura around her at this very moment that only I can see because I'm the special main character or some shit. Did I eat something funny? Shaking my head, I try to focus on the foobar speech. Our military was in poor condition. Our citizens were starving. So true. We had no place on the world stage. Flailing her arms above her head, spittle flies all over the podium, spattering on the microphone. Yeah, it's kind of like me. Getting extremely excited, Dictator expounds violently, banging her fist and winding up the crowd. Not exactly a silver-tongued devil. Now look at us. One of the strongest economies, one of the largest standing armies, one of the happiest nations on Earth. I wonder how we gather that metric. Along with our friends, Vitalia, Zipangu, Osta, Hang. Oh, it's just Hang. It's not Hungary, it's Hang. I suppose that's... whatchamacallit? That's, Austria? Probably? Now Soviet, too. We are a new powerhouse in the global arena. That last one's not gonna last very long, though. The restoration of Germania's military might and power is an event unprecedented in history. The crowd continues to shout and scream, swept up in their emotions. She really has a hold over them. It's probably something to do with that demonic aura she's wheeling around. Yet our stinky enemies continue to threaten and belittle us. Britannia warns us of consequences. Franzo threatens us with treaties. And the Polacks hordes are at the gates. I'm pretty sure the Polish are just kind of standing there going, dude, shut up. Dude, what? I just want to farm. The language is so direct and violent, yet she continues to ramp it up for the crowd. We are a people surrounded, pushed into a corner, like a wolf. We must be ready to rip them to shreds. So true. Some bad hombres desire a repeat of past. Bad hombre? Jesus goddamn Christ. To destroy our people and our country. I won't allow this. Unfortunately, this needs to stop. Need to heal bad. Need to head to bed. Yeah, I'm probably gonna be done after this whole little extravaganza is finished here, because this is the thing. But we'll be back next time with this. Taking a moment to inhale, she smiles bitterly and looks out upon her adoring citizens. This pressure. That feeling again. What is it? It's a dangerous feeling. It's a dark energy. Controlling. I've got to shake it off. But the crowd doesn't notice. It treats her like an idol, eagerly taking in everything, calling out and saluting. Remember the losses we suffered, the humiliation we endured at the hands of our enemies. The end of the last great war led to the ruin of our beloved nation. Totally not our own faults. Nope, believe me. I suppose she has some sort of mind controlling powers, and then she tries to pretend like she doesn't, and then when she runs out of words on the stage, she just kind of pulses people with the fucking the Men in Black fucking flasher that's built into her eyeballs, and everybody just goes, yay! Seems like it. Yeah, no, the script got changed after 2016. Wow, really? Fuck. After 2016? I'd like to see the demo. Martin, you still got the demo on hand? All hail Hypnotoad. Yeah, basically Hypnotoad. All hail our Lord and Savior Hypnotoad. Okay, after the last war, Germania sunk into misery and depression, forced to burden the cost of the conflict that you started. Like many nations faced with economic ruin, militarists rose to power, forming dictatorships and juntas. But now that's all ancient history. Oscar Derlwinger works for us now. Our armies have been rebuilt. Public projects have made our economy strong. Our youth have jobs in the military. Public works are a big part of Hitoria's drive to change the economy. Road building, hospitals, dams, museums, cat cafes. Wait a minute, I thought the cats were communists. Wait a minute. This is a hell of a lot more streamlined in the demo for obvious reasons, sure, but we have no need for forced treaties or enemy slander. Those stinkheads can just leave us alone. I withdrew our country's signature from the Treaty of the Reflecting Palace. Really? Okay, fine. Territory that the old empire lost was reclaimed, and annexed brethren nations were made to join our cause. Yes. We stole back that bit from France. I formed alliances and pacts with countries near and far, and with that, might and power was restored to my nation. My world, Mr. Anderson. Another great cheer goes on. But our work is not yet finished. We must remember who it is we are, what it is we stand for as a people. Silky hair, smooth skin, sparkling eyes. Are you really saying that out loud? Let's face it, we're absolutely fabulous. Especially all of you blondies out there. As a thing for blondes. Okay, Karn. Suddenly, a dog clambers onto the stage and barks at the dictator. Hey, Blondie, I don't mean you. Jesus fucking Christ. She laughs as the animal hops at her feet before dashing away. Anyway, just remember how gorgeous Germanians are. And the most gorgeous one of them all, why? It's me, of course! It seems the Germanian dictator is a bit vain and has an obsession with hair color and genetics. Wow, who would have guessed? Heritage and blood. It seems to be an important value to these cheering Germanians. The demo is no longer easily accessible, but for reference, it went up in 2013. This game has been at it for this long and is that fucking mediocre? This game better get way fucking better real fucking quick here, because this is just kinda bland for a game that was apparently in development for nearly a decade. Nearly a fucking decade. Ugh. We have no need for the impure, the weak, or those gross non-Germanians. They're all impotent. And a nation cannot be called impotent as long as it is able to produce brilliant minds. Minds like mine. So get fucking out there. To build roads, to design planes and tanks, to produce music, comics, and works of art. Although no jazz, and no comedy either. And any foreign influenced scientist can leave too. Albert Einstein says, yeah, fine, fuck you. Goes and gives the Americans hints on the atom bomb. Also, I'm pretty sure that comics were considered degenerate in Nazi Germany. Well, we must keep fighting. A peace accepted on someone else's terms is no peace at all. In order to survive this world, we must fight for self-preservation. We must stand up to those that stand up to us. Self-preservation, standing up to others. Aren't those just euphemisms for war? Yes, but they haven't realized that the world has changed. Also that, whatever the fuck that is probably helping. Anyhow, she certainly has a way with words. Wait, I didn't think that, but wait, did I? Yep, mind control. The crowd hangs on her every syllable. Some are even wearing shirts with the Fubar's face plastered on them. The message is simple. We are mighty, we are beautiful, and we will fight dirty to preserve our country. Make Europa great again! All hail Germania! All hail me! Me! I'm really not going to question whether or not that's a joke for haha or a joke from left-leaning personalities looking down on Republicans. I'm not gonna look into it, but sure, fine, fantastic. You go ahead. A massive roar goes up from the crowd, followed by thunderous applause. The atmosphere is sweltering. The people here really must admire this girl, or fear her, one of the two. Actually, that must have been added in. No, yeah, that must have actually been added in. If the demo was, if this part was in the demo and it was in and it went up in 2013, Donald Trump had not been elected yet. Hell, we didn't even know he was running. So it probably wasn't originally there, but so that has to be added in. But the question is why, aside from adding more jokes into this rather bland script. Moving on, though. Guards continue to roam the perimeter. Brown-shirted thugs with red armbands pace through the crowd with clubs. Just who is this Adolf Hitler? What kind of dictator is she, really? A deranged lunatic? A sweet girl? Both? Our enemies say that we're out of touch, that we're isolated. They accuse us of selfishness and greed. Even when they agree to peace in our time, they laugh at us behind our backs. I think Chamberlain was actually an idiot, though, so it probably wasn't him. Suddenly, members of the crowd begin to call out, almost as if prompted by the Fubar. The Britannian weaklings, the Frenzo cowards, the communist brutes. They don't want us to make this continent a united paradise full of hot blonde dudes. Those monsters. Wow. The guards are looking at that man again. The guards are wondering what to do with that guy, because that's got some connotations to it. The demo version was more reserved. Sweet girl, oversized sleeves and ponytails, as I recall. Again, are there any queers in the theater tonight? Get him up against the wall. Against the wall. You see, where are the Pink Floyd references here? Dudes, Gunthers, what are you saying? Please don't say those kinds of things. Shoot, I said too much. But even now, we're reaching out to our allies and sisters, calling for support. The cowards and traitors are gone. No longer shall we linger on lost companions and old generals. If we are to survive as a nation, we must always be moving forward. We must strive to fight and survive by any means. Her words begin to become more warlike, more provocative. I find the crowd slowly becoming entranced by her speech. One of our country's closest friends, the Empire of Japan, has submitted to the terms of our anti-comintern pact. Closest friends? If only she knew how much her recent pact upset Japanese politics. Currently, they are battling communists in China, along with some crack Germanian advisors. The mob begins to murmur and shout some damn Chinese cowards. They dare fight the army of our friends? To hell with them. Down with the communists! And the warlords, how dare they attack our friends? Wait a minute, didn't we arm the Chinese army not that long ago? As Sapango fights their war in China using our guns, they send us their brightest minds. Yeah, sure, that's not exactly what happened at all, but okay then. Adolf Hitler begins talking about the exploits of the Empire of Japan and Germania with a few lies thrown in. Though behind the scenes, there's nothing but tension and mistrust between our two nations. I mean, it's why I've been sent here after all. They'll probably stop emphasizing friendship soon, now that the Union of Soviet is on good terms with Germania instead. A young man next to me suddenly grabs my arm and begins yelling. Hey you! Yeah, you! What are you doing? I thought you looked suspicious. You must be a Chinese spy. What? I'm not from China. I'm from Japan. Although, how did he know I was a spy? I knew it. I'm going to get hanged as a traitor already. Oh yeah? That sounds like a trick. You Orientals all look alike too. What are you doing lingering like this? The Germanian man starts to pull my elbow as others turn around to stare. Hang on, what are you talking about? Let go of my arm. You're coming with me to talk with the Führer's guards. I'll expose you as an enemy before the leader herself. Who is that? A foreign communist? The communist infiltrator is here in the crowd? Kick him once for me. Must be an assassin here to take out our great leader with that big letter opener of his. There's actually an enemy foreigner in a crowd? How scary. Get him! Get the different looking foreigner. Oh, whoops. Whipped up into a frenzy, he tore his hypnotic speech. The ordinary citizens all begin to denigrate me. Wait a minute, I'm not a communist! I'm meant to be on your side. I'm a soldier from the Japanese Empire. As if you expect us to believe such an obvious lie. I am! I fought with Chinese soldiers personally. Well, see, he's been to China. That's proof enough that you're Chinese. You're a Chinese infiltrator. We have to get him to our leader. She'll know what to do. This isn't good. At this rate, I'll be exposed for what I actually am, or worse. Skipping out of the grasp of the angry mob, I turn tail and run away. It's getting really fucking late. Can he just show them his passports? Forged, obviously! Hey, wait a minute, get back here! Come on, let's get him! Catch the foreign devil! Chased out of the grounds of the Imperium stock, I find myself running through the cobbled streets of Alt Berlin. Seems like rather normal Berlin by what I'm hearing. An angry mob of blonde-haired Germanians gives chase, yelling and demanding my head. Get him! Get the foreign communist! Let's expose him! Kill the foreigner! How dare you try and spread your Oriental communism here? Oriental communism? Yeah? I thought you guys liked communism now, anyway. That's just Slovian communism. Your foreign communism is completely different. I mean, yes, but no. This angry mob This angry mob sure have weird principles. It's almost like literally everyone here has weird fucking principles. It's Nazi Germany. They hold whatever principles don't get them shot today. Desperately avoiding their grabbing hands and projectiles, I keep dashing through the lanes and alleys. The confusing street signs lead me this way and that, and I'm pursued across the city. For Alt Berlin Palace coming to go. Where the heck am I? The National Lingerie? Lingerie? The National Lingerie? Oh, I think that one's the Alt Berlin Dom. At least I'm getting some sightseeing done. Edgy Jojo Rabbit. Dashing past a residence on a corner, I notice a uniformed policeman berating an older woman. For the final time, where are your papers? Eh? But I told you, those are my papers. I don't believe you. I think you forged these papers. I think you're lying to me. No, please, I would never. And where's your flag? Why are you not hanging the flag of the Nappy Party on our rally day? I'm old. I can't climb the stepladder to hang a flag. You're lying again, old woman. Maybe a night in the Gestapo cell will teach you a lesson. Yes, the goose tape. No, please. Turning the corner, I can't see what happens between the two of them. What was all that about? So there are secret police here in Alt Berlin too? Hey, don't think you can get away that easily. The mob continues to follow close behind, so I keep running as fast as I can. Heading across the market square, I soon see flames ahead and smoke rising. A large crowd of people seem to be gathering around a bonfire. What could they be burning at this time of the day? I get closer, I soon find out. There's a pile of burning books surrounded by angry citizens throwing literature into the fire. Guys, I don't think we should have this happy-go-lucky music in the middle of all this nonsense. We're literally running through and getting the greatest hits of Nazi Germany here. Books on communism, pornography, Western ideals, freedoms, and, well, basically anything else. Burn, you stupid books! Burn! Burn the evil away! What the heck is going on in this crazy city? From over my shoulder, I look back and see the mob are still hot on my tail. Just you wait, we know just what to do with foreigners like you. You'll be sent away to prison to do back-breaking labor. I told you, I'm not a spy! Well, not a Chinese spy, anyway. Getting past the bonfire in the center of the square, I duck down into a side alleyway. Destroy the food Adosians. Burn it! Burn it! However, the mob is still right behind me, angrily grasping and calling me degrading insults. What a terrible first day. Won't they ever give up? Meanwhile, outside Dimpelhof Airport, Alt Berlin, Germania. Meanwhile, back at the airport, two members of Odorofia Hitora's inner circle look around nervously at the airfield. Huh, that's strange. Commander Yamato Yamamoto's flight should have landed by now. Goring and oh Jesus Christ, Goring and Gerbils wait right around outside the terminal, ready to escort the Japanese soldier into the city. It's because we got here so late. Yeah. Well, we weren't that late, only 45 minutes or so. It's not that bad. This is your fault. If only you hadn't stopped to pick up that bucket of fried chicken. But I was so hungry, it would have been bad to give Commander Yamato a tour of the city on an empty stomach. Their instructions were to show him the monuments and the tourist traps before dropping him off at the rally. This is terrible. What will we tell the what will the Fubar think? She'll probably have us both demoted or shot. Calm down, let's not play the blame game anyway. Maybe he landed at a different airfield? Not certain what happened. The failed tour guides pace the tarmac and try to work out what to do next. I'm sure he's fine. Back in the center of Alt Berlin, Germania. Come on, give up! Give me a break already! After running for a solid 20 minutes, it feels like my legs are going to give out. Panting for breath, I struggle to answer the weary name-calling of my pursuers. And you know what I hate the most? How you look so different from me? These Romanians must really hate foreigners. Eventually, I somehow managed to circle my way back to the grounds of the Imperial Stud. What? No, you've got to be kidding me. After all that, I'm right back in the center of a large hostile crowd. Unable to keep going, I trip and collapse into the dirt. Aha, gotcha! Come on, you're coming with us this time. Struggle against my captors, but now my legs are truly worn out. I find myself being helplessly dragged through the crowd and abused. What are you doing? Get off me! Let go! However, they refuse to listen and continue to tug on my arm and push. Soon enough, we reach the front of the stage. I'm thrown on my knees again as armed guards surround me. Look, dear leader, we found a foreign agitator. He was in the crowd getting ready to shoot. I'm not even carrying a gun. Well, he's got a sword. Maybe he was going to throw it at the foobar. I feel a bayonet at my back and watch the jackboots pounding on dirt as more Vash's guards come forward. This is a bad situation. Then I hear gasping all around as a figure comes into view. Nice thigh highs. Having leapt off the stage, the Fubar Hitoria stands before me. The guards rush to her side. What are you idiots doing? You're blocking the cameras. This is going out live on the radio, too. All she's worried about is her image during the broadcast. I discovered a foreigner, dear leader. One of those communist dogs you spoke about. He was going to hurt you. Foreigner, huh? Is that enough reason to disturb one of my speeches? I haven't even made it to the third hour. I have, and I would rather stop now. I apologize, dear leader. I did it without thinking. Wow, that shaky, aggressive posture. She really is cute on close. Looking me up and down, the female dictator suddenly changes her expression. Yamato? The famous soldier? Is that really you, lying on a broken bottle? Eh, broken bottle. Wait, never mind that. You know who I am? Commander Yamato Yamamoto from the Empire of Japan. It is you. I sent for you, so you finally arrived. Wait a minute. You don't look like your photographs, and what are you doing on the ground like that? Come on, get up here. If he doesn't look like his photographs, how did she recognize him? SS Division Sayak. Yes, blueberries everywhere. We produce them in bulk. The excitable dictator grabs my arm and pulls me with her towards the podium. Hey, wait a moment, stop it. I haven't prepared anything. Come on, this way. Stop being shy. We have to introduce you to everyone. Sorry, it's getting late. Huh? Introduce me. I'm forced onto the stage by this energetic girl until I'm side by side with the podium. The confused crowd begins to notice. I feel the force of 1,000 curious eyes watching me. Citizens of Germania, I have some wonderful, wonderful news for you all. As a part of our anti-Comintern pack, we have an exchange program arranged with the Empire of Japan. For several weeks now, we have been awaiting the arrival of a new military advisor. She's making me feel like an exchange student in a school classroom. Yes, in front of several thousand people. God, this is all some retarded alteration of reality, and we are actually just still in high school. This is some weird-ass take on Haruhi. I'd give it credit if it was. Soon enough, she'll make me write my name on the board and introduce myself. I should try to pick a seat by the window. As I think over these dumb thoughts, Adolf Hitler continues the introduction. This is Commander Yamato Yamamoto Yamity Yams, a former warrant officer of the Imperial Army of the Empire of Japan. A man of such extraordinary talent and dashing good looks that I personally selected him from their ranks. I can't believe this is happening. She's talking to this massive crowd about me. And she personally picked me? Just what is going on here? On a scale of 1 to 10, what level of what the fuck is this game at so far? It's like a 4. It's just kind of below average. I mean, there are some notes that are kind of okay about this, but it's getting lost in how laboriously it's going on about this whole nonsense. I was told there'd be a game here, but this is feeling like Crossrays again. It really is. Where, hey guys, you want to play this neat game? Nope, psych, it's a 40-hour visual novel. This is really starting to feel like Cross Race 2.0 here. I see some of you murmuring and pulling faces at this selection. Fear not. Japanese people are a warrior race. Descended from the violent and corrupt samurai, their modern soldiers are clever as well as fierce. Is that supposed to be a compliment? Actually, that's kind of a misnomer. We're not all descended from samurai. Well, my family are, but still. And Yamamoto himself is braver and more loyal than any other I've read about. She simply ignores me and continues her speech. Germania will grow stronger, working with our friends. Side by side, we'll guide this country into the future. With a fresh perspective, we shall look to expand and conquer this continent by might and force. We will show our adversaries just how wrong they are. We will crush them all into the dirt. By chance. Goon, by chance did you mean Crosswave? Crosswave is an SD Gundam. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's very late. Crosswave. My bad. There's more gameplay in Crosswaves for it being a visual novel. Crosswave, Azur Lane. That's what I was talking about. Jesus fucking Christ. 3.5 hours of talking and I already feel fucking winded. Wow, this is some weird visual novel, by the way. What link? It's My Little Dictator. You can buy it on Steam. The world is moving in a new era, and Germania will lead the way with our armies and our strength. Once again, the message is simple. Fight bravely, destroy our enemies, and advance into the new tomorrow. All hail Germania. All hail Hitoria. All hail me. 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 I pre-ordered Crosswave, as did I, and I was expecting more of a game and not a 40-hour visual novel. I actually never fucking finished it because I was not prepared to play a 40-hour visual novel. The entranced mob chants the phrases back and then descends into cheering once more. Following the rousing speech, Adolf Hitler descends the steps and makes her way through the crowd. Uniformed soldiers push behind and in front, butting at people with their rifles, creating a path for her to walk. The desperate and nervous citizens salute and grasp outwards, hoping to touch their dear leader. Journalists shout pre-selected questions and take photographs, hoping for some response from the girl. However, with tact, grace, and an entourage of thugs, she simply smiles and continues walking. Her bodyguards keep off the more frantic worshippers. Hitora calmly waves at her adoring fans. She greets some small children that stumble in front of her path, shaking hands with their parents. One young woman holds out a notepad and a pencil. Dear leader, please sign this. Adolf Hitler takes the items from the girl, signs an autograph, and hands them back. Thank you, dear leader. I'm honored. I hope someday to die for you. You're a beautiful girl. I'm sure you'll make a fine bride before you get blown up. Okay, that's actually pretty good. The Führer complimented me. Done. Well, too late. The girl practically faints, having been caught by friends nearby. Hitora moves on to the next group, signing photographs, giving thanks, and posing for her followers. He turns back to face me. Just wait for me, okay, Commander Yamato? I'll be with you soon. With that, the dictator disappears further into the crowd, leaving me on stage. What a bizarre experience. Yeah, you're telling me. Finding myself waiting on stage, journalists take my picture and query me. First, I was chased through the streets by a lynch mob. Now I'm practically a celebrity. It's gonna be a long day. Okay, and with that, we're actually gonna save and just walk the fuck away, because Jesus goddamn Christ. Okay. I can feel it in my fucking throat. Ah! I know my job is talking for extended periods of time, but this is talking constantly for 3.5 hours. Right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. That's gonna be it for tonight. This has been My Little Dictator, and while it is essentially what I expected walking into this, This is really quite, to use that really easy to grab phrase, kinda cringe. And not the obvious cringe, where you could look at, oh, well, they're all cute anime girls, and it's making, world leaders, dictators, and war criminals into cute anime girls, and making haha fun, and, that's kind of cringe. The art style isn't really all that amazing. That's kind of cringe. This is clearly made by a bunch of weeaboos that aren't actually Japanese, don't have access to good artists, and are kind of mediocre writers. That last part is where it really like puts the last nail in the coffin there. I could overlook everything else about this game, but the writing is rather mediocre. There are points where the jokes shine through, but I feel like this is trying to world build a place that really isn't that amazing, because it's just Europe with some names changed around. It's the most boring fucking take you could have done. Like, it's less than Valkyria Chronicles being just Europe, and somehow less than Tanya being literally just Europe. Somehow it's worse than both of those from the initial the initial look at the thing. There is a glaring lack of originality here, but the problem is it's mainly because they're trying to be something that's real, so they don't have that much wiggle room to be weird, but they're still trying to throw wrenches into the works there that aren't really all that good. So it really just comes down to a lot of information that's really fucking bland. It's really not all that interesting to sift through, and there's a lot of it. We'll see how this actually goes, but this is really mediocre from what I can tell. And I would have been willing to look past, a suspect art style and, some weirder sort of elements about it if the writing was actually here, and writing's barely here. So this is like a 4 out of 10. So there might be some laughs to be had here. I don't know about the combat. We only played it for about 3 seconds, and now we had like 5 minutes of combat, maybe less, and 3.5 hours of talking. This is really starting to remind me of Crosswave in that it promotes itself more of a game than it actually winds up being, and it's just a visual novel, and that's more egregious here because, Crosswave did actually have pretty okay writing for what it was, even though it doesn't fucking matter because nobody really knows what the fuck's going on with Azur Lane anyway. You can start talking randomly and just running your mouth about things, and you'll probably wind up being somewhat correct only because the Azur Lane story isn't really all that important or really all that well written to begin with. But you had, the people from, who did fucking Neptunia actually writing that, and those people are decent writers. This doesn't have that. And so it's kind of the downsides of Crosswave without any of the saving graces, and I don't even get to see my wife. So we'll probably march through this because, again, I'm being threatened at gunpoint by Martin to do this, but this is really kind of fucking mediocre, but oh well. We'll see what happens. But that is the show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I have been your host, Phontomen. I will see you tomorrow. Good night. It's this and then Kato a Shoujo. There's going to be a lot of reading this month. See y'all later, folks.